Yeah, shame with the tour of where the players are staying right now, and also of the group stage match areas. Now, Group A has come to an end. Who's qualified? Who's gone to the upper? Who's gone to the lower? Who's on a plane out of here? Well, we can reveal that right now. We're back with our panel members. We've changed it up. We've got Cap and Kyle back with us, gents. Group A's all done. We're going to recap it. We're going to show everyone the final standings. It's kind of what we thought, Kyle, I guess, in the end, with Vici and Secret going through, but they've swapped around at the top, and we'll cover that in a moment. EG and Pain have gone through in 3rd and 4th. Alliance and Mineski eliminated. Is that how you felt it would shake out, or is there a slight difference there with Pain going through, maybe not Mineski?
I think it was more of a question of it was either Pain, Alliance, or Mineski. I felt like all 3 of them were just kind of in that same tier. It's just a question of who's going to turn up a little bit better. Bit disappointed for Alliance. Yeah. They looked pretty good, but again, they looked good in every single tier 2 game that they're playing, right? So it's difficult to be able to tell when you match up against tier 1 teams online.
And they just weren't closing out well. I think they actually still have a lot of potential. This is the second LAN of the season for them. They went to Vegas before, but they just need more time to develop. Specifically, they should have taken a game off Vici with a alliance strategy. You know, they game planned it. They won the game, but couldn't close.
The reason Secret finished top, by the way, over Vici is on the time rating system. They have a much better time rating than Vici, because obviously they drew head-to-head as well. So Secret win the group. Now, I'm not entirely convinced they'll be happy with that. And you'll see why in just a moment when we show you the upper bracket, because these 2 have finished in 1st and 2nd, Secret and Vici. Evil Genius is in 3rd. Pain Gaming scraping their way through in 4th, despite that loss against Secret 2-0. Alliance and Mineski eliminated. And I'm sure Alliance are very disappointed with that. They came very close in a number of their games, not least of which in the one game with Evil Genius as well, who went 5-5, by the way, and drew every single series in the group. I don't know quite what that says about them, but they are playing with the standing right now, so perhaps we'll forgive them a little bit. Now, what does that mean for the upper bracket then? Well, tell you what it means. It means this. It means that Virtus Pro will be the opponents of Team Secret. That's right. That's the reward for winning the group. You get to play Virtus Pro in the upper bracket semi-final, and Vici will play Asta, an all-Chinese affair from the top 2 positions. You might ask why that's the case when we haven't finished Group B yet. That's a good question, because we haven't finished Group B yet. However, those 2 have finished in 1st and 2nd. That can't change around when we head into the final match very shortly. There's your upper bracket semi-final confirmed. Secret versus Virtus Pro and Vici versus Asta. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
4 great teams. I think they're probably the 4 best teams here, Kyle.
Without a doubt, yeah. I think you could argue maybe Forward or EG would challenge, but they both have a ringer. They can't compete. Those are the 4 top teams here, and I like that it's West versus West, East versus East. Guarantees that upper bracket final, and it'll be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's turn our attention to Group B then. Right now, as we've already pointed out, Asta and Virtus Pro both through. Forward Gaming have also qualified. They will qualify for the lower break. We don't know which position they'll finish in yet, so we don't know whether they'll play Evil Geniuses or Pain Gaming just yet. There are 2 spots, or rather 1 spot, and 2 teams up for grabs in that one, and they happen to be playing each other. It's Ninjas in Pyjamas versus compLexity Gaming. They go head-to-head in our next game. Let's start with compLexity, gents. Where are they? 2 and 6 right now. It suggests they haven't had a great tournament, obviously, and playing with Skem for the first time, but he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, they're one bright spot, I would say. I mean, I'm a bit biased, so I think Zach's played pretty well, but he's been somewhat handicapped and
not playing the 4 position.
I mean, he's playing.
Not actually
he's
getting
playing
to play
Bane, hard support. I mean, how do you really look to shine? But I swear, the last team fights they had against Aster, he landed more lockdown than Snaking did, with a blink taunt and a buyback. So
yeah, and that was a game that they could have won, right? That very first game when they were Terrorblade versus the Team Aster Monkey King. Felt real bad for that one, because I was like, oh, compLexity, you're going to be able to take a game off of Aster. Maybe this team is actually beginning to click, because it's basically like they're playing with the stand-in in a way, because they haven't played with Skem this entire time. They've been playing with Jo as their quote-unquote stand.
a big boost to that squad.
Yeah,
And
should be able to galvanize the team.
And you also know it's not going to go into the old complexity trope. This guy's not going to backstab his captain. He is very dedicated to Eternal Envy. As you can see, he's got the profile picture of Envy. He's playing Terrorblade all the time. This man is an EE fanboy for sure.
Let's swiftly move on to Ninjas in Pajamas before we get into even more trouble, or rather, Kyle feels slightly alienated on the panel again. Ninjas in Pajamas, there's a lot of promise here, Kyle.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of promise, but right now they're 3-5 and they're playing for survival.
Yep.
That's not where they wanted to be at this point in the tournament, surely.
No, definitely not. I'd say they're disappointed with their results this far. They need one win. Complexity obviously needing 2-0 to advance, and I feel like NiP's got to be favored. But
Yeah.
I can't shake the feeling that Complexity is going to come out in game 1 with not a pocket strat, but well prepped,
Right.
and I think they'll take the initial one.
Okay, I mean that's been a theme, isn't it? You and I spoke about this yesterday. They seem to come in, they're very well prepared. They've obviously studied their opponents. They've got some great theory crafters in that team in Eternal Envy. They've looked at it, they've figured it out. They played game 1 and it looks good. The draft works, the execution is good, and they get the game done. What happens in game 2?
Snaking's drafting, and
Okay.
in game 2, I don't really know.
Because it's gone wrong every time, hasn't it? After they've won game 1, it's gone wrong in game 2.
The thing is, and this tends to happen, when a team is newly formed, the players don't necessarily know what's going on either.
Right.
The draft is, there's a lot of questions, I think, not just from us. And to fix it, I really just want them to install more structure. The openings change so often. Their first 2-wing Invoker in one series, now they're banning its second phase or even first phase. The supports they value change from like day to day. It's just very odd to watch it. It feels like you're not learning if you keep throwing out the script and writing something new.
That sort of erratic behavior is almost the exact opposite of Ninjas in Pajamas, because I feel like they're actually sticking with something, and maybe they're sticking with it too much. Peter seems to be really convinced by this Chen. Right? 1-2 Chen. Every single one of their games for like the last 6 games or something. The other games they got like Tiny first. So it's not even like you were like, yeah, of course, you're going to take that Tiny. It was only like the very first 2 games that it felt like they were doing something different than everything else that we've seen here at Hamburg. So I don't know. I was curious what you thought about the Chen. Like, are you really convinced that Chen is just this 1-2 pickup you're going to grab every time?
I think
it's worth it.
I think teams should be valuing Chen. I mean, how many... One thing I hate is when people don't learn from the teams that do the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone looks at OG, they win TI, and like, wow, shit, we got to start practicing Invoker. We've got to play Arc Warden. We need to play Brood, blah, blah, blah. No one watched No-Tail crush that top lane in game 5 for all the marbles playing Furion, ensuring Chen is banned every game because he's going to do the same on that hero. Like, they're broken 5s.
Okay.
Play them, pick them, and I have no problem with Peter continuing to open with the Chen because it's that good.
I guess my feelings about it is that the only reason I'm slightly concerned about the Chen is I feel like teams are playing against the Chen better than they were before. And then on top of that, it's a hero that just, it feels like it falls off so quickly. Like once you get to like 25 minutes, it's like poof, there goes your 5 position.
The impact of the hero is deceptive, I think.
Yeah.
People don't rate, how powerful it is to have, let's say, an Ice Ogre and a Wolf running around with your team.
Okay.
In addition, the sustain, like the game they played against Forward, like Chen had multiple situations where a send back or just a heal saved an ally, turned around a fight, and I think sustain is another mechanic that people are starting to appreciate more.
Yeah.
And while I do agree with you, the one thing that was a bit more busted about Chen previously was the 3-second cooldown on max level send back, or delay time rather. Now it's 6, so it's not this super easy get out of jail free card, but still, I think it's good.
Yeah. For me, it's like the biggest thing is that like I've fallen very heavily for what Secret is doing in their drafts, and obviously the big standout there, the difference between these two captains is like Puppy's actually drafting himself like these very greedy positions that scale very deep into the game, and then he's like Peter's obviously taking the exact opposite approach. Yeah. It's different approaches, like it could still work. Both of them can still work for the meta for sure.
That's a style thing. I mean, Peter's been playing hard 6 for 3-4 years now.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna play a Chen, a hero that falls off past 25 minutes, it's got to be Peter, right?
Not gonna be this game.
Yep. I think these are solid bans from both sides. If you're playing Complexity, you should be banning Wisp Enigma exclusively for sure. And Complexity taking out the Chen and the Tiny, I think when you're playing an NiP, that makes sense. Curious to me that they take out the Drow themselves as first pick. I feel like it's a huge benefit to have that in the pool when you're drafting first. Open with something like a Wyvern.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you open with the like more like the open support and just the Wyvern here instead of picking like the core Necrophos? Right now you're saying like, okay, Ninja's Pajamas, they don't get to pick the Necrophos, but they also get to like draft like Nyx Assassin or something in the first one too.
And that also explains why they banned the Drow too, because you don't want to pick Necro into Drow.
Sure.
So it's a higher value pick in that regard, but I personally lean towards the open support.
Okay.
However, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to go Necro Axe, which I really like. I think that's a very, very strong opener. I was talking after series finished yesterday with Bulba and a couple other players and captains from teams, and just like kind of throwing out my ideas, and that was one that they agreed upon. And this is another hero that I'm very high on opening with, the Lina. I think I like this Ogre Lina just because of the natural synergy, and the Lina gives away nothing. This can be a support, can be a core, theoretically it could be off lane. I just feel like this hero should be picked more often because it's so powerful, great talents, and just stuns. When you open, you have wave clear and a stun. It just feels nice.
So that pairing is interesting to me because we were seeing Necrophos picked up when we saw the other team has Axe, right? Self-sustained hero, doesn't worry about creep cutting, those sort of things. But why do you like Axe? Is there something about the hero that works well with Necrophos?
Oh, I think, well, Necro covers Axe in a lot of ways, in that you don't want to play Axe into Necro.
Right.
You have set up for a hero that's like low mobility. Like you want peel against with a Necro on your team primarily, because a Necro is going to die 100-0 or not at all.
Right.
And an Axe will always be able to save, because it does not matter how you itemize, you can't prevent yourself from being taunted after a blink in.
So there's a link between this Axe and, say, this Earthshaker, who also gives you the same kind of peel options, right? They're going to go on a Necrophos, they're going to get fissured or Echo Slammed.
And in addition, I just think Axe is a super strong laner at the moment. You can skill and itemize in different ways to ensure that you never lose a lane. And it's the same reason I think Ogre is so pickable nowadays, where it's very difficult to lose a lane with this hero. You can go full damage output, you can just buff your carry and run in and hit this enemy support. A lot of options available to you.
What about the opening of Ninja's Pajamas? Again, like very open, right?
Yeah.
The Ogre. Okay, Ogre's just a great support right now. Lina could be 3, could be 4, could be 2.
And it's just nice.
It's
I like both of these openers. I was very disappointed with what some of compLexity was doing yesterday. I think this is more what I would like to see. You know, I think I saw a Bane Shaker in the previous series, and they just Aster went Silencer, and that's pretty much the end of the game. And this is a lot more even and more of an answer back than just like a, hey, these supports are good, let's do it.
What are we going to see? Second phase bans. It's quite a lot in there still, isn't there? Morphling's still in there. TB's still in there.
Yeah, I think those are two you definitely have to look out for.
Phantom Lancer is still in there.
Do you think NiP ban that Axe now, Kyle?
I don't think you need to after they reveal the Shaker, because it would be Envy's hero regardless.
It's the same thing, like, I doubt Ninja's Pajamas is going to get Nyx Assassin, right? Because they already kind of have Ogre. I've heard Kyle's thoughts about the double melee support.
This is also one of the compLexity favorite openers, just the Necro Shaker. I think it makes sense when you consider how new this team is. Necrophos is arguably the most open core in Dota right now, and you just give Envy his Earthshaker, which he is attempting to make his signature. It's just easy to now fit in 3 more heroes.
Attempting to make signature. Still to be determined.
TBD.
This is a very long second phase banning setup here. They ban out the Visage. NiP bans Invoker. I expect them to take out TA next. I don't think you want to leave TA in a pool when you have Lina already.
Depends if they're going to use that as a core, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter still. It's just too powerful.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
That silence also gives us a clue as to where that lane is going to go now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when you're second, so it's really a second pick move, because TA is great as this first pick hero because you don't need to 10th pick it that much. It's very obvious when a TA is going to be 10th picked, and it's a strong enough laner, especially when there's a Lina on the enemy side, that you're confident with it. And in addition, when you're second pick, you're going to need to reveal what this Lina's true role is before you really get a chance to utilize the floating of it, because you're gonna need to pick 2 heroes. compLexity, they're gonna third pick some support. You'll have no idea what those last 2 cores are gonna be.
Yeah, it's interesting, this silencer as well. They play it quite a lot. It seems to cycle with the Chen. If they get the Chen, they don't need the silencer. If they don't get the Chen, they go for the silencer. If they don't get either of those, they go for the Wyvern.
it's just great synergy with, well, rather against the Shaker and the Necro.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how you want 100-0 Necro if you want to kill her, or him rather. This is the counter then to that backup peel, because you just pop a silence and all of a sudden the Necro can't save himself and neither can his teammates.
But it does mean that we are going to be having 2 supports that don't have any wave clear unless they upgrade Ogre to like 3 position or something. That was quite the nasty face you pulled there, Kyle. And then I look at the screen and I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a transcendent 4-player in Z-Freak. I feel like putting him on a hero like Lich is a great use of his talents.
Talking of great use of talents, the Arc Warden is in play.
Yeah.
Very-
Is it really good though to pick
Yes.
Arc Warden without seeing 2 cores?
It is a strong enough hero and your second pick. Like,
Okay.
you have to give away something, right?
Yeah.
This preserves your ability to edit this Lina to any lane still, so you can be picking a 1, 2, or 3. NiP effectively can last pick a hero for any of their players now. And it's so good against Necro. Like, you have addressed the Necro thoroughly, and now compLexity, you're kind of limited in that you don't really win fights now. You aren't going to have the mid-game tempo, and you're always got to be afraid of in late-game Arc Warden. So now it's like, all right, Cole, like, what do you have prepped? Why are we picking this Lich? And what
it
are we
deals
going to
with
do to
your-
find a win condition?
Deals with your lane maintenance problem, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have this Arc Warden split pushing all the side lanes. Lina will also be bursting down waves, so your supports don't have to be on that duty whatsoever.
And
They can play behind cores constantly.
I really want to reiterate, like, it is the counter to Necro. You pop your Tempest double Flux, spam Spark Wraith. It's like, you take so much damage.
Okay, but traditionally, Necro, like we've seen for the last like few months, you're okay with picking this hero and getting it counterpicked, right? Like, what if
for sure.
there's so many other cores that can just get on top of Arc Warden, like Phantom Lancer is still in the pool. That's like one that I would like to see.
It's the Lich. It's the Lich Necro.
Sure.
The Lich
What's
is...
the thinking behind it?
Ask Cap. I don't know. I'm not qualified.
It denies things.
I mean,
Okay.
the Kunk is cool. It's more damage reduction, right? But the concern I have is that it doesn't matter how much damage you reduce. You have no real way still to deal with the NiP team fight. The silence, they're going to have more wave clear. The mobility is higher as well. I think this Cole aspect's got to do a lot. It's going to be your Skemberlu hero, and I need it to be some sort of game winner here. You don't want to pick TB at all, or really any ranged core into an Arc Warden.
But you will have like better team fight, presumably, unless you get like really sick global silences. Like, you initiate with this Echo Slam, you've got between the combination of Coco's Rum and then the fact that Necrophos is going to be able to take out a hero. Kunkka gives you the catch that allows the team fight to work out. I don't mind compLexity's lineup too much right now.
I like it.
Just the third pick, right? It's just
I'm just not sold on Lich. That's all.
Why not get a Wyvern and give your, because that hero also wins you lanes, right?
Does the Terror Blade come into that?
You can't pick TB and Dark Ward.
No, that's a hard counter. You want to get some sort of hero that gets on top of Arc Warden that has a lot of mobility.
But something that Skemberlu's
I think it'll be PL.
So we're narrowing, aren't we?
You want a hero that can lane with your Lich, most likely, although you could put it with Necro, and they ban the PL, as expected. You need something that gets into the bubbles, gets on top of the Arc Warden, and preferably is a Manta BKB buyer, because you are going up against a Silencer.
Yeah. You have Morphling still out there. You can...
Wouldn't mind Morphling. That's nice, especially when you have the Lich. Like, all of a sudden, you boost that laning potential, and it gives you compLexity's heroes something to play around, and they kind of want some target that NiP's got to address. They have the cores that survive through tank ability. You want something now that's more elusive and mobile, play a bit of cat and mouse.
I'm just looking through Skemberlu's most played heroes, and do you know what? There's not a lot here that
Spectre
that
as well.
fits all of that stuff. Spectre's not in this list that he plays a lot of. Void, Lifestealer, Luna, Lycan.
I could... Spectre, yeah.
Spectre, that's so
it's a
good
great
versus Arc Warden.
Yeah, and the
not in his list, but yeah, much
it's
better.
nice because Spectre's dispersion damage output is calculated before reductions. So anytime you can reduce the amount of damage a Spectre takes, he'll still be dealing that full amount to enemies, but he'll obviously die much slower. And I think it matches perfectly when you consider also the Kunkka. You're going to be doing so much damage to yourselves if you try and kill a Spectre from full HP through Rum that it's pretty much impossible. And that's also an answer to the Lina, the Arc Warden, and the Silencer. It's just so easy to find those heroes and take them out. It puts a lot of pressure on this NiP last pick.
Now, this Arc Warden can no longer be your game winner for later on in the game, but it can, if it goes to Necronomicon build, can still have a big effect on the game, but you're relying on your last pick to kind of close things out for you.
What does that? What are they missing? What do they need?
I mean, it just depends. If they go the Necronomicon build, then you want to play fast. You want a hero that allows you to be able to take Roshan, is good versus the Spectre.
Brew's not bad. Not great either, though. This Spectre is going to be king, and whenever I think compLexity right now, I think Skemberlu, and he's put on a hero that's for sure the strongest in the game, and there's a lot of pressure on this Arc Warden Brew combination to kind of just take over and dominate the game.
Decent amount of threat posed by NiP's heroes going out towards compLexity there as well, so plenty of opportunity for NiP here to win the opening game, but that's all they would need to advance through. So compLexity have got to start really well. They've usually started well. Kyle, I guess the question is here, can they do it again? Can they start well and win this first game?
I think so. compLexity will win this game, yeah. I really like the Spectre pick. You brought up when PL's banned, Spectre was like the no-brainer choice, and I just think that compLexity's got the much easier draft to execute. Arc Warden and Brew and a Silencer, like it's so difficult to play around all these abilities properly. I think Cole just has to stay cool, keep the towers alive. Eventually they'll get that one fight, they'll win the game.
My only concern is that compLexity don't have a playmaker. Like, they really need their Kunkka to do well in the laning phase because he's their best hope for playmaking, because both their supports, like Lich doesn't do it for you, and Earthshaker needs time to get his Blink Dagger. So that's my only concern. Everything else I like about compLexity.
All right, okay, good stuff. Right then, let's get into it. Massive game for both these teams, both sitting right on the bubble right now as far as going through to the open part of the bracket. Which one's going through? Well, we'll get part of that answer after the end of game one. Remember, NiP only need one game to guarantee their place in the bracket. compLexity have to win both. Let's see how they get on in game number one.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indy. We'll see if NiP can secure that. compLexity can get the sweep in this two-game series. I already picked some drawn by Trent. We've just seen the two lineups. That Spectre coming through as sort of that fifth final big pick. And as the panel said, it's going to be quite a beefy Brute in the team fights with a backup from the Kunkka Rum. But on the other side, we do have NiP coming in. They have this Arc Warden lineup that could sort of out-rat them, out-carry them in the end stages of the game. But the panel is sort of liking compLexity's answers to some of NiP's heroes this draft.
Yeah, I think Arc Warden remains a bit of an enigma as it comes to heroes as of late. Feels like a lot of teams still not experimenting with him. Maybe some just don't believe he's flat out good, but Ace specifically, between Secret and now NiP, playing the hero quite a bit. So when you are looking for solutions, I thought Kyle pointed out two couple very good ones with the Phantom Lancer and the Spectre, both for the same reason. You just want to get inside those bubbles, not have to deal with it. But much like Terrorblade, I find that those Arc Warden players, you know, like the game, one fight going well for you can suddenly mean that structures just evaporate too. You know, we have a Bloodlusted, potentially, Arc Warden with his clone, maybe get the multicast going with the Bloodlust, right? Then one fight, and it could just be over. And in terms of playmakers, like, yes, that maybe Limp can do it on the Kunkka, but you have 3-3, who's been going off this tournament, and he's on a Brewmaster, who is one of the most competent team-fighting heroes that you can get. So, looks like our pause is just getting finished here, guys. So we'll get you right into the game. compLexity versus Ninjas and Pajamas, one game, so they don't have to go home. For NiP and Cole got to get both.
They've got to get both. Let's see if they can do it here. This game one, and as you say, 33. He's going to have so much control in these fights as well. You sort of look at heroes like the Necrophos, they can sort of be totally taken out of it and really limited in how much they can do in those big game fights. But let's have a look as we get in NiP versus compLexity and see what lane matchups we're going to have as the game begins at the moment. Looks like compLexity wanting to take Scam down to this bottom lane to find the farm, put him head on in this matchup. I'll have the backup of the Lich. See if they do change things around, but no, looks like they want to keep it with the Spectre down on the bottom. They're sending the Necrophos snaking up towards that top lane. So just taking the Spectre by looks of it away from the Brew lane, I would imagine, to make sure that Scam can get that farm early on without being interrupted.
Speaking of interrupted, and he's just trying to walk around, you know?
He is.
This ogre shows up, And 3-3 scouting very deep up top, just like, who's here? Anybody? Nobody? Because this is where the party is, all down bottom.
Yeah, this is going to be the lane where it could all kick off. There's NiP. Setting up to take these 2 bounty
They're going
runes.
to get all 4. They've just given them, I mean, no one contested top. They're able to use the Spark Wraith early on as well as an Ogre Magi.
The compLexity didn't even try. They just let them take them. 4 bounty runes for NiP, and Z-Freak also getting beat down pretty low, has to TP back over towards the tower. They've got the Fisher block to make sure that this bottom lane is going to be in a good position. So I'll be interested to see if they do continue to keep the 3 of them down here, having both the Shake and the Lich. Do you think this is required by compLexity? Like they have to have this tri lane?
What it did, and the fact they didn't even contest runes, is this allows you to 100% hide your cores, and they don't know where the Spectre was going to be, and so I think that this is probably what they were hoping for. Would have been this matchup. So now it's the whole blink first thing, where if NiP want to move this Arc Warden away from the Spectre, like.
But I feel like surely the Arc Warden. Does he care that much that he's against this lane?
I don't think so.
I don't think he does.
No, it's probably going to be worse if it's the Brewmaster, because it's going to slow your farm, especially if it's like Brew and Ogre or something like that. But Brew and Silencer is equally obnoxious up top for sneaking, so. And Envy's just running around. Being chased by Peter. Tip. Ogre, what a great hero.
Well, let's see. It's sort of the mid lane matchup as well. We haven't really talked about, but obviously, as you can see, Fada's Lina going up against Limp's Kunkka. And he is there with a wraparound. Doesn't quite find a Fisher setup. Fada too far up onto the high ground to be trapped down into the river. But so far, Limp getting that good CS with the first few waves, 8 for 3 against the 4 for 1 of Fada.
Yeah, a bit of an irritating matchup for a Lina player. Like, Lina always kind of needs a couple levels to get things going, right? Because you want to just get some higher nukes and everything, and then you start slaying your opponent. But levels, that's the key, and you're against a Kunkka, who's one of the best deniers right now, being able to use that Tidebringer. So you get slowed down there, and then it's all about that race to 6. And then Kunkka can just solo kill you. So can be very rough, especially if Envy manages to get a kill mid with some Fisher block, and then the lane really tips towards Limp.
Fada able to grab an Arcane Rune so he can continue to spam and make sure that he finds that CS, even though they have that favorable right click with the Tidebringer. He's got that nuke damage with the Dragon Slayer and the Light Strike to mess with the farm of Limp. Bottom lane PPD and Z-Freak continuing to brawl it out as one another attempt to keep the attention away from their carries. As farm down bottom as it goes, Ace 10 for 1. Scam 8 for 2. They find this kill though with MV getting the block off of the Fisher. They do. They set up for first blood. Just how they want the lane to go. They've got this tri lane going. They want to make sure they get farm on the Spectre and make sure they find some positive action for him as well. And they certainly do just that with MV coming in with the clutch Fisher.
Yeah, not a whole lot Peter can do here when he's just level 1 on both of his spells. So tries to put some hate on to Scam. Ooh, they do get the kill on snaking though with the rotation coming. So just with this matchup that we've been seeing, and you gotta give credit to compLexity. It cost them all 4 bounty runes, but obviously that matchup did work out for them as it has forced Ace to make the move first.
And mid lane, they've got the setup onto Fada with the X mark into the torrent. Just get a Light Strike out to stop some of the damage coming out from Limp, and it's enough to keep him safe. Oh no! Top lane, he just returned to that lane and he dies immediately again, snaking. It's always painful when you die twice, especially after you just TP back to the lane, instantly got sent straight back to base. That is going to knock him so far back up top. Mid lane, bit of a chase onto Fada coming in. Limp trying to get in underneath the tower. He's tanking the tower hits though. Gets one Tidebringer hit off, tries to go for the turret. It's not going to be enough as Limpy can't get the kill. Fada survives, turns Fisher from Envy, does finally finish the kill off. So Envy at least able to redeem something there in the mid lane for Col.
Yeah. That was a pretty sick juke by Fada though, just knowing that if he goes anywhere near his tower, there's a chance it's torrented. So banding out of there.
Z-Freak critted down, 33. They've made that move. He's come down to the bottom lane. You've now got Ace on the Arc Warden up on top. But also Cole, they've sort of moved around as well. The Spectre's now top, so a bit of the magical lanes happening. Z-Freak's now up there as well to back him up.
Yeah, this Brewmaster's a little scary. He's already level 4. He's got himself, what, 1-0 and 2 now at this point. And if there's any hero that's going to carry this game for NiP, I definitely think it's the Brewmaster.
Mid lane. Set up once again with the Fisher. Nice strike coming out. It's going to disrupt the immediate combo attempt from Lim. And again, will be enough to allow Fada to walk off safely. Takes a hit with the Tidebringer, but he's got that salve ready to pop and get himself back up to full. But CS-wise, Lim certainly owning the middle lane. 28 for 11 against 14 for 3. He's playing the matchup perfectly here as the Kunkka.
All 4 bounties again?
No, they didn't.
They did.
They did? 8 bounty. Well, you can see it.
It cost you a silencer, but he almost gets the Lich. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen a team get 8 bounty runs. Like all 8 of 5 minutes, just taking the 4 the first time and then the 4 again. That's quite something.
What's wild is that was kind of a theme for compLexity yesterday. Like against Aster, that was like the one thing that was going well for them, is that they kept getting all these bounty runes. It was a ridiculous amount in comparison. But my God,
if they do it again at 10 minutes, that 8 bounty runes versus the 0 that compLexity have been able to pick up this game. But net worth-wise, just a 1k lead for NiP. As we said, Limp having a really good opening in this middle lane. And Scam, he's farming okay. He's getting a decent amount on the Spectre. With these lanes sort of moved around, we should be able to continue to farm pretty nicely. Saxa is there to put some abuse onto a mid lane. Never attempt onto Fada. This one should be successful as the Fisher will force Fada to walk down the river. Does get a nice 2-man light strike array, but Limp should find this, and Fada accepts his fate underneath the tower. Will end up falling.
Yep. And that gives the 6 over to Limp though. He like can't come back this lane now.
No, he's got to head to the neutral camps really if you lean or look for ganks. It's hard. He's got to be careful with the recovery now. As top Scam. Is he going to die here? Another Wraith being popped down. It's going to go over to Z-Freak though. Z-Freak tanks it. We'll keep Scam safe.
They're going to bait Limp mid here with its Invis rune on Peter.
Okay.
Because Fada's like kind of, I don't know, he could try and, yeah,
he's pretty. He's got 1200 HP that they have to get through. He's a bit of a tanky brute. He can get the boat down as well with the rum. So yeah, it's not going to be enough damage to kill off Lim. He's got the rum on him. He's going to be fine. Top lane, they're calling trouble. Z-Freak and Scam being kept incredibly low here. They will lose the Lich as he pops to a Spark Wraith. Ace gets the kill. Scam will still survive, but he's out of regen on this top lane.
So even though they didn't get the kill on the Limp mid though, that's actually such a good play because it allows Fada to have his space in the lane back. And he had to waste the boat in a defensive posture, and instead it's Limp who had to go do neutrals and hit up his shrine.
And now Fada does have that level 6. Torrent gonna be up the mark. There's MV caught out by the light strike. The combo being blown down by Fada. A couple of right clicks should do it. The uphill miss though keeps MV safe. It will stay alive. Now no Laguna Blade for a minute. So a little less worries there for compLexity in that middle lane.
Yeah, down bottom, a bit worrisome for 3-3-2 just because he's almost 6 and sneaking is already 6, but it didn't end up mattering just because the wave pops now. There it is, and he goes for the first kill.
And with PPD's backup, he should certainly have this. The Ghost Shroud comes in. There is a Fisher, but the block off's there as well as actually a Horn trying to turn things around potentially, but it's not going to do anything in terms of saving the Necrophos. And in fact, 33, the dream use of that Primal Split, getting a double kill on the bottom lane. 33 continuing to give us the same caliber of performance that we saw from him yesterday.
Yep, no question about that. I mean, just instantly on the Dispel when he tried the Ghost Shroud. Easy pickings.
3-0-2 at just 8 minutes in, and a good chunk of farm as well on 33.
Looking forward to see what he built in a situation like this. It's a relatively okay Radiance game if he thinks he needs to go like that, but maybe he just wants that blink right away to try and get active and try and put them on a faster pace than Cole will be ready for with the Spectre.
Saxa getting some space up top to get a bit of farm here himself as he's on his own against Scam. Scam constantly being harassed low. They're going for a smoke.
They're making space for Scam.
33 doesn't have the split. This would be a fantastic time to get the kill onto him. In they go. Torrent and Boat, that'll do it. They take 33 out of the game, and a good bit of money goes towards Limp. Picks up 300 gold for that one.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of experience for everyone too.
Smoke from NiP in response. Going up on the top lane would be a good jump to find. They know that Scam doesn't have a Haunt to escape with. Now he is pretty vulnerable to the moment. Bottom lane Ace. Snake King just finds him straight up. A Death Pulse and a Scythe will do the job.
And when they find that kill and no one's around Ace, that makes Scam a little bit hesitant. He's playing far from the wave, but there it is.
Yeah, not far enough, unfortunately, for him. As PPD comes in with Fada's backup from the smoke. And they chain lock down the Spectre. Setting up for a kill for Fada, continuing to really step Fada back in the game after a bit of a tough time in mid, and you can see that on the last dish. You know, Fada now second highest. He's getting the net worth back up as well, making a good recovery from a lane that was always going to be hard. It was going to be that matchup where it would be pretty tricky for the Lina, but Fada making a good recovery.
And now, oh, okay, they got Snake King is gonna get both bottom guys. The dream is dead. How unfortunate.
The 12-0 bounty rune dream is dead. Indeed, Snake King able to make sure that 10 minutes in complexity will get their own hands on some bounty runes this game.
I mean, 10-2 is still a pretty nice lead in terms of bounties. Oh, here we go again. This looks familiar.
He's gonna have to pay the price. 33 is not happy that Snake King took away a couple of their bounty runes as he'll drop the primal split. Take Snake King down once again, the 4th time in these 10 minutes. He's having a tough one, Snake King. They're putting a lot of pressure and priority onto him, and he is that easy target that 33, anytime the ult's up, he can go for every single time and get that kill. Help him push his bank account towards the Blink Dagger funds, which is about 900 gold towards top of the phase. PPD, Envy, Envy's out. TP knows there's nothing else in the game really other than Fada to be able to cancel that. And Fada still showing mid, pushing the wave out, going for the Yule Scepter. Level 9. Does have Laguna Blade ready to go, and pretty much the same net worth as Limp's Kunkka now. Fada, with these nice little stacks he's got, he's going to be bang on level with the farm that Limp has now. So that mid lane all but forgotten now, really.
They're just kind of running at ace here, though. If Envy had gotten that Fisher, that could have been pretty scary. Does catch him on the end, but no one else is there. A little miscommunication, I think, as Limp stayed for the creep wave. But Z-Freak's nearby with a smoke, so they actually just like show under the tower like that. And are they going to back all the way before smoking? All right, there they go. So there was some residual vision in the area, but maybe not scouting out exactly what they were up to. Seems to be a drawing from Envy saying, go top. As they have some wards in the area spotting the aces rotated.
See in the middle. Can they find any setup? Z-Freak,
DCs? I think Z-Freak DC.
But do you think that he did walk just
he walked
towards
like,
the high ground?
There's no reason he would walk there.
Yeah,
was it Lich?
That's what we were thinking. We were thinking it, and we were right.
This smoked guy just
walks down mid. What people say?
He says, was like KK was like WTF.
Yeah.
Just some good old NA dotes, you know?
There we go, Z-Freak back in control of his hero. They may still find a chance for this one. Envy, unfortunate there. Oh. I think... Is he still DC? I mean, that Chain Frost was a little unwarranted, as I think Fada... is he going to be fine? He's got the Shrine. Okay, no, Z-Freak is there with a wraparound. Is there any help for Fada coming in?
Team?
Fada's like, this is a team moment. It's like, team, they're diving me by the Shrine. Fada is still alive, and they have indeed turned around, taken 2 kills.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man.
Team is here.
I mean, their team is... oh, Fada.
Oh,
God, give him some more. Oh, no, 33 took away an ultra kill. Dude, this could have been a beautiful rampage for Fada.
Yeah.
And 33... messed it up. So did Ace. Oh my. That was... Well, I think you pause again and as you ask if did the whole team DC and just their heroes... I mean, first, they missed the Fisher block. Envy's blocked you off from chasing that kill. You still throw the Chain Frost. You say, we're going to go in with the Haunt as well. It doesn't matter if there's a Fisher sort of blocking off the rest of the team going in. That was very sort of question mark from complexity there. That was not the play at all.
Yeah. And as we saw from a little stat there from Knoxville, only 2 times they've had less, I believe it was. Kind of ridiculous. Then Cole had in this game is they only have 2 so far prior to the 15 minutes. But that really spiraled out of control, man.
I mean, you can't do that ever again. Don't do that, Cole. That was not good. As NiP, they'll take a solid lead now. 3K advantage, 15-7. They've got all 3 cores in prime position at the top. Fada, I mean, you know, he's a guy who likes to have a giggle. I'm sure he was all smiles when that was going on. Them diving him up to the Shrine, past the Shrine. His team, you know, not instantly coming in, but they were there. They knew that they could take their time because they're like, hey, these complexity lads aren't going to stop diving. They're just going to keep coming.
I think that's what took them so long to respond.
As Chain Frost just come out to PPD. Boat as well onto the Ogre will kill PPD off, and they have managed to trap Fada. He's up on the high ground. Dragon Slayer fights Z3, but Fada loses his life. This time it's NiP's turn to go a bit harder as they go into the jungle and lose 2.
That Ogre intelligence appears to be contagious.
Yes, absolutely. As Saxa, he's going to lose his life as well. All right. So NiP indeed saying 2 can play at this game of just waltzing into nowhere and losing heroes. As compLexity handed back a bit of fortune.
Bit of space making here as Ace is up top, taking down that tower. But yeah, just handing quite a bit of gold. I mean, felt like Limp was just, or rather Fada was far and away just like out of this game. Everyone, his net worth is way up there, and suddenly Limp's right there next to him. But Ace is chilling there too. So
Ace, yeah, but he was having none of that nonsense. No. You know, he's like, oh, I'm an Art One, I've got Midas, I'm going to farm, I'm going to win us the game, and he's on track to do that.
I don't think I've ever seen a BKB first Kunkka.
0% cooldown efficiency. Get him off the team. The stats don't lie.
That was harsh.
0%.
Wouldn't that mean he didn't even use it?
I mean, well, he's not used it. That's why he's just got it. Damn. Come on, stat guys. Let's not play.
But yeah, Limp's just going straight up BKB. That's his first choice. I can appreciate that. Envy, appreciate a little Laguna Blade.
Oh, get run down by PPD.
Or will he? Can he escape the Ogre?
Nah. Oh,
2 heads.
This
way, no that way.
Okay, 33 is there too. Rest in peace. Oh, look at that. PPD as well. Letting 33 take this kill. There we go. More money for the Brute. They take the top tier 1 tower, NiP. And they keep that push going. Spider and Ace. PPD and 33 ready to make some action go on the top lane.
Just give me these bloodlusts right now. Like, this is the complete dream. How do you fight right now as Cole? They can only fight with Haunt, and they are holding it at the moment, but the Spectre's obviously not that terrifying right now. Has a Yasha, so he's not just rushing straight Radiance or anything ridiculous like that. But bloodlust, bloodlust, bloodlust. Huge Ace, smacking away on buildings.
Ace Midas, sir. There we go, beautiful. The counter to fortify creeps. Nothing to deter them from this push as of yet. They're stunning. There we go. 80% cooldown efficiency. That's right, mate.
To tweak the buttons.
You got to make my boy Ace look good. As he deserves a little more than a 0% cooldown efficiency stat point.
Well, for now, as NiP, then you've already taken the 2 tier 1s. Oh, actually, no. You still take the tier 1 mid, I suppose. It's very, very low, but it's getting there. But once that's done, then you just want to play inside that dire side jungle. Try and prep yourselves towards rush. I mean, they're still playing in it right now. They feel safe enough up here. PVD's just playing Vanguard, where he's blocking off one path for smokes, and Ace is playing on the other one. Z3 really gonna be trouble. Jeez, he actually
does dodge the Tempest double. Scams come in with the horn.
They're so fast.
Can they get this kill on Ace in return? They can. Field ain't gonna save him. They get Ace, they get PPD as well. As PPD accepts his fate, realizes there's no way out of this one. So compLexity again coming out on top of the trades here. 2 for 1 trade.
I guess they felt like they were safe by playing it that way, but clearly that was not the case.
It certainly seems like it is a game where NiP, they are leading. They do have the advantage, but it's not sort of the super tight NiP we see tonight. It's a little sloppy, a little over the place, and it is allowing compLexity to take advantage of these slip-ups, and you got to be careful. You know, compLexity, they have this Spectre, they have this Kunkka, the game goes on. You know, Skem's going to be incredibly scary, and as we sort of said, the Skem has had pretty much across the compLexity games the most solid of performances. So you get this boy the chance to perform, and he absolutely will on his Spectre.
Yeah, and if you're NiP right now, you're just thinking about that next split, trying to actually make use of your Lina outside of that ridiculous dive and chase. Like, Fada not really having much opportunity to do anything with the Yules and the Shadow Blade. So the smoke begins. 3-3's left out of the smoke. I don't know if they're going to try and bait him at the tower. That'll be a very obvious play. It's also a full HP tower, but kind of seems to be the plan. Peter's just going to go in and try and get some overreaching vision here. And, oh, instantly they place the sentry up there. There we go. Battle of the sentry wards.
PPD.
Both teams lose.
He'll turn away from the wards and look for the kills instead. 33 jumps in with the collab. They've got the global silence as well to make sure there's no response from Necrophos as they focus down Snaking. Bursting the Necrophos out of the game. Now going for a bit of a chase around the woods as Z-Freak has been found hiding in the trees. They'll get the 2 kills with the split commitment, and they'll get a tier 1 tower by the looks of it as well as they continue to push on.
This Brew hero is pretty great right now. You have these like Terror Blades and Necrophos you just want to focus down, but they have these really obnoxious spells like Sunder and Scythe and stuff, but they just can't do anything when the Broodlings run at you. You know?
There's nothing to sort of hold them
You're
back.
just dead. You need some team to help you or something, or he's going to need a Force Staff or a BKB, or he's going for the full-on pipe. Oh, he's looking at Force Staff too. Just had to try and save himself. Limp going to start out. It's just Peter, though.
Peter's got
He's
friends.
like, I'm not committing combo for this. It's just an ogre.
He's got Saxa here. And B? Oh. I mean, I guess they'll maybe kill the silencer? Oh, no, come on.
You sound so confident, Owen. I think they're dead. I think that's a double kill for Fada.
Yeah, and I think
Snake King might be going down again here, too.
Oh. Well, I mean, you know, sometimes we learn things from watching the pro. I don't think I learned anything from that. I mean, what was that, Cole? That was... I mean, more specifically, Envy. You know, do you want to Echo Slam that solo silencer? I don't know, this is weird.
It's an odd game.
I mean, it is an odd game. We're seeing a few of these plays.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a lot of bounties.
As I say, you know, these guys obviously a million times better than me and you, Trent.
Of course.
There must have been a reason for those series of button presses, but I don't think I'd ever be able to understand that.
And there's the bounties again. We're going to get a lot of use of this graphic here this game. I want this thing up here like every single time.
It's
like,
gonna be a juicy
this
difference,
is why you get bounty runes right here, you know?
Money. It's a lot of money.
That's like half their lead almost in just bounty runes.
Yeah. And that last bit of a mess up there from Cole is going to cost them in the difference as NiP back in terms of just getting that momentum.
Now, I watched this tournament earlier this year, the International. It was very good. It was pretty exciting. I don't know if you caught any of it.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. There was this hero there called Spectre, and there were a lot of games that did look like this.
That is,
and she found her way.
That is very true.
You know, I heard she got like a little bit of a new wardrobe since then, but other than that, you know, she can still do it.
But she can. It's just sort of the nature of the hero. This hero can turn things around. We've seen like a few strange plays from compLexity. We might see some strange plays from NiP as well. We already have one. Yeah. So if they do that again and the Spectre turns up with a big spooky horn and gets a rampage, then bam, compLexity can be back in the driver's seat.
So spooky rampages are just, that's what's down.
That's top lane, NiP. They will find a tier 2 tower. Now.
The Global's going to protect them.
The Global is going to put everything to a bit of a stop. compLexity have to keep their distance. They're trying to back up and wait for the Global to wear off, and then maybe they can turn back in. The Horn comes out. They've lost C3. Scam, you can see with the Horn, he's got himself on top of Ace, but Ace has got the back of Bafada, who lights down the Light Strike array. BKB from Limp as he's trying to commit. Torrent Control comes in. They were able to find the kill onto Ace. But Scam's taking a lot of damage with the Spirit Vessel ticking him down. 33 is found, snaking on the side of it all. Scam will turn. He's still alive as Scam got the kill onto Saxa. NiP, they've got the Light Strike, the Fire Blast, combos there onto Limp. Limp will fall. There's 3-4 dead now on compLexity. Only Envy surviving. They do lose 2 on NiP, but it doesn't matter. The 3 of them still standing strong, and they're in prime position to push up to the high ground at just 22 minutes in.
Yeah, Saxa with that Spirit Vessel just narrowly able to bring down Scam too.
It really messed with the Spectre. You know, sure, Scam was able to bring the silencer with him, but the fact that he just had to run around and out of the fight because Saxa, he's got that space, he's got a good amount of farm for the position that he's in. And having the Spirit Vessel at this timing, it's a lot of damage that you can't remove once you pop that Manta.
They have just focused so hard on Snake King too in a lot of these games. Like the Necrophos just can't even play. He can't get off good sights. He's just being fully committed onto by the Brewmaster.
He jumps in.
All the multi! Got him! Ogre!
I mean, he just got straight up outplayed there by Fada and his Yule Scepter.
Well, straight up outplayed by the button pressing of PPD, I think is what you meant.
Yeah, absolutely. The lucky roll from Peter.
It was calculated.
10k lead now for NiP. In this game, as we said, NiP only really needing 1 win, and they're looking to be on track for it. compLexity, they need both of these wins to stand a chance in terms of being in that good position in the tournament.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, that's a record.
That's very interesting.
13th fastest.
So D-Stone's had the fastest one just yesterday.
Oh, he actually had the record, D-Stone.
Yesterday?
Damn. Yeah.
Oh, that's comical. What a guy.
The fast BKBs on Kunkka. It's a recurring theme here in this tournament.
I guess we'll just have to call it the new build.
Yeah. Phase, straight BKB.
To be fair, if you're not just getting damage items, this hero doesn't, you know, he's not that great. Some people have been building drums, and it feels like the drums that just don't do anything at this point.
Yeah, your damage is really going to be quite negligible at this stage. But the thing that you're playing with him for now is the team fight control and the run to keep your team alive.
You gotta cast your spells. So how do you cast your spells? You buy a BKB.
Right, they're into the pit. NiP, we'll see if compLexity could do anything to get NiP out of it. They don't have Horn back up yet.
We're talking about the new build, and I thought I had that Shadow Blade queued up for a while, but he just got so fat from these dives from Cole. He was like, I think I'll just buy a Scotty, guys. What do you guys think? Fire and ice. That's pretty cool together, right?
Yule Scotty. I mean, yeah, talking about
this
records.
This looks like something you would build.
I think we've got to credit him with a record. We've got the stat guys on. I mean, I would, yeah. It's a bit out of there, and I'm going to... Is this the fastest Scotty on Alina?
100%.
Probably.
100%. That's a Trent Packs guarantee.
You don't know. There's so many games, Trent. You never know.
No, come on.
This is the fastest Scotty of all time?
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be,
I refuse to believe it's not. I know if there's one thing stats people like, it's when you just make them look something up for you in the middle of a broadcast. They definitely don't hate that or anything.
No, they love it. They love it. It was what Nox on it. Nox loves it.
No, he likes tiebreak.
Give some Scotty stats.
Oh, go get it. Ace, go.
They're going to get it 4 again.
go get it,
Ace. Come on.
Wrong way.
Get that rune.
I think Lim just pinged it.
Okay.
And he's like, yo, guys, go over there. Ping the area.
Maybe PPD knows. He knows that this is his sole purpose in life, to head over to that rune.
Sniffing it out as the ogre.
Get that goal, Peter. He's not going.
This is like the cheese yesterday.
Oh, it was the cheese incident. Did they win that game in the end? They did, didn't they?
They, despite losing the cheese?
No, they lost it, wasn't it? It was against Forward.
Yeah.
They did lose that game. I'm sure we will not see NiP forgetting about the cheese again in this tournament, as I'm sure Peter will have told his teammates that was unacceptable. I can't imagine Peter standing for stuff like that. He's a serious man. Here we go. And yes, this is the fastest Scotty on Alina by over 5 minutes. The previous, I'm impressed the previous record was 30 minutes. I wonder what that build was and who did that. Can we get that stamp?
leave him alone.
I want the Dota buff. I need the link, I need the information.
I need a match ID.
What happened this game? Maybe it was Fada again. We don't know.
No, he would have put it in. If it was Fada, he would have put that in for sure.
Can you tell me who was that Lina? Who no, God.
There's no way.
Who would get a 30-minute Scotty? Maybe it's someone we don't know.
It's gonna be some like 2015 or something.
There we go, pushing down this bottom lane. NiP really suffocating compLexity, keeping them up on the high ground. It's very hard for Cole to get out on the map at the moment. You got Lim trying to go for the blink after the BKB. I mean, he's keeping himself alive, but it really just does feel that we're not really going to feel that much impact from this Kunkka.
No, his boat is impacted about twice, it feels like.
Yeah, there we go. Let me go. Yeah, not too familiar with that. What's it? Evernovas against Bad Weeds. Oh, that was a classic. You know?
I mean, that's a...
I mean, yeah.
I've got their jersey back home, actually.
I do.
You know, a bit of a collector. So.
No, I've not heard of that lad, but hats off to him. Actually, well, he's going to feel a bit gutted now. He's just lost the top spot on the fastest Scotty.
That was the one thing he had.
He's just lost it. Oh, no. Let me go. Poor... Oh, we're here for you. Let me go.
Yeah.
We love you. And appreciate that
he got his moment, you know?
He held it. How long did he hold it for? What was that? 5 years?
Leave him alone.
But how long was it ago that he did that? 5 years, right? Or 5 months? What did it say? I can't remember. I think it was 5 years.
That would be 5 years.
He's held that record
series.
For 5
That's a long
years.
time.
It's been on his wall. He's told his kids about it, and his kids of his kids. And now Fada turns up and absolutely destroys the record with his new fastest Skadi. I want him to get the heart, because I think, could this be the fastest heart on the Lina, or do you think that might be pushing it?
I'm thinking
if he gets around 30 minutes,
probably still be the fast. Yeah, it's gonna be the fastest heart.
Is it gonna be? Can we get that stat? I want to know the fastest heart ever on Alina, because we got to build up the hype for this one. I was said in 2016. He's been holding it for
2 years.
2 years. 2 years and a half. He was getting close to that 3rd-year mark. Fada ruined it. Took away the record.
He's ruining Cole's game here
as
well.
They're just
potentially
moving
the
on the
tournament chances here is they got to win both games. I mean, this is all NiP need.
It's rough for Cole. They've had a tough time. I mean, it is their first LAN with a new roster with Scam playing and such. So it was always, it's going to take time to adapt and stuff. but it's been a tough show. And they're going to try their best here for this final fight. Envy does come in with the Echo Slam, Chain Frost out as well. The Global's going to be there in response, but Saxa's already dead. They'll lose Saxa, they'll lose the Aegis on Fada, they focus down PPD. This is what Cole needed. They get that Ogre. Can they get anything more from this? Ace is coming in from the sidelines, and Ace is starting to strike back with a Tempest double as he'll take down Envy. Envy buys back. Snaking with a Ghost Shroud, Reaper Sight down onto Fada. They'll kill off the Lina. They've got themselves another Ace. Now retreating, goes to the TP out, will make it away, but compLexity. They lose the racks, but they do strike back with absolutely the best team fight they've had this game, as they'll get a good 3.6k gold swing. That's what they need. They need a few more of those, approximately about 3 before they get the game back on level. But this is the scary thing. They do have this Spectre. There is that. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, Fada, he's not going to hit the heart record either. He's gone. He went a bit wonky with his build. He said, I'm going back for the BKB. So no record set today. You know what it is?
Someone reeled him back in.
It is. You know, he doesn't want to break another man's heart. You know, there's someone out there holding that fastest heart on Lina record, and Fada's like, I've already crushed one guy's dreams. I'm not going to crush another man.
Trust me, if he rushed hard on Lina, he's definitely not playing pro anymore. That's for sure. So.
That is true. I mean, our Scardy friend on Lina, you know, maybe this says something for the future. Now Fada's done this. We're gonna forget him in a month. He's out of here. This is a sign. Yeah. Remember the last guy that rushed Scardy on Lina? No, nobody does. Fada, what have you done? You've just sealed your own fate. He's got to be careful. And he realizes, you know, he's trying to reel it back in with the BKB that he's getting next instead of the heart. But no, all joking aside, of course, Fada, you know, it's a fantastic game for it. He's pretty damn beefy. Yeah. We saw him die, but. He punches, he slows. Oh, more stats. Let's even leave that. Bryle.
My boy, Bryle.
There you go. Okay. Bryle had it at 35 minutes.
Good Canadian lad.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So Bryle will be able to. Oh, I will say he's able to hold on it. There is still 5 minutes until Bryle's timing. So say this Lina gets a Rampage, gets a Roche, he could finish that BKB and finish the heart. So Bryle. If you're watching Bryle, you got to be a little, you know, it could happen. Fada could still defeat your record.
Terrifying.
It is. As they'll take themselves a shrine, NiP. BD. Back in with the Taran fish down. They've got the opening onto Peter return with the Fire Blast. He's getting beat down though.
If you ever wonder why Ogre is picked, you just saw why. Just so you guys know. Because where was he standing? Like, the only way the enemies can get to your team, you just plant yourself there. It takes them like 3 seconds to kill you. And everyone just TPs out, gets away. They still have time to finish the shrine. And all he gets an Ogre. We'll say they've handed back quite a bit of experience. And Limp with that BKB, with his Shadow Blade. You know, if there was ever a time and a hero that you need, Blink, Shaker, Shadow Blade, Kunkka.
Yeah, I do like that he went for the Shadow Blade rather than the Blink that he had queued up. Because then, you know, then at least gives you a little bit of an extra punch. And they've already got sort of the Blink initiation. They've already got great initiation all round because they have this Spectre who can go in with the Horn. It's got the Basher now after the Diffusal, so you know, trying to get that Abyssal Blade done so they can just sort of start the fights with the Horn, get themselves on top of a target, and eliminate them from the fights. I mean, ideally, who do you think they would be looking to get on top of? Who's sort of the biggest sort of nightmare?
Ace.
Just get on top of Ace.
Yeah. It's hard to argue against that. Yeah. Unless they can catch Fada before the BKB, that could also be okay too. But, I mean, they're both going to be at 10 seconds likely by the time the next fight kicks off.
I want to see Fada just pick up those 2 VIP boosters now. He's got the money. Screw the BKB.
It would be heartbreaking.
Just buy that heart. Bryle is watching. He's not going to do it.
He needs the BKB.
I mean, he does.
He becomes the siege engine. They just stand there.
Sure, going Scardy first is one thing, but he's feeling like, all right, we're under a little bit of pressure here. Cole's got a Spectre. The record, setting 2 item timing records in a game, that's probably a record on itself. Can we get the stats? The last time a player individually set 2 fastest item times in the same game, I don't think it's ever happened.
Actually, probably the first player that played Arc Warden. Probably set a lot of records.
The first player who played a game. That is true. What was the first pro game ever? That is a stat we could get up. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Well, then you have to talk about drawing lines and everything, but Fada, he has purchased up his BKB. So they're ready to go. They did not find any aggressive maneuvers there. I feel like there was a bit of a window there for Cole, especially because that whole Roche fight is coming back up now. Really want to get into that. And it appears that NiP are preparing themselves to make an advance into dire territory. This looks like a team ready to smoke. Or a team worried about their opponent smoking, maybe more accurately.
I see. All on the new boy Scamp to pull this one through.
Yep.
And he absolutely can with the Spectre. There is that chance. He's got a hell of a lot of money. He's got a good amount of farm. You know, he's only just behind Ace, and that really is not
There's a
small
chance.
feat. You know, he's only just behind an Arc Quad.
They could get 3-3 because he doesn't have a BKB. He went for the Radiance first. Maybe they can get him before split.
Oh, they can't afford to lose Scam at the start of the fight, though. There's the jump. Global Silence comes down. He tries for the Manta, but the light strikes there. They force him back. They can't let Scam fall, but he's being focused by Ace. Scam's down. He's got the buyback and haunt potential. So maybe Cole can look for a chance to turn. There's the jump. Envy comes in. Echo Slam Fisher as well. Buyback haunt.
Ace.
They're on top of Ace. They've got themselves the Arc Warden. They'll turn now towards Fada. Another bash from Scam comes out. Double kill for Scam. Heading over towards PPD, and that's the play. The complexity you have to go with.
OG Dota? Is that what I'm seeing here? Some buybacks into a triple kill when you're down 12K?
It's
right before a Roche fight?
I mean, that was perfectly done by Scam. And this is why sometimes on Spectre, you really don't mind if they go on you. Sure, it's sort of a cost. It's a risky play. You had to buy back, you have to haunt, you're relying on die. But as sort of the opponent, you've got to always be aware. That Spectre dies, high chance he's going to buy back and haunt straight back in.
He gained gold in that fight, despite that.
But now Scam dies now.
Yeah, but they don't have Lina, because Fada bought it with the BKB. Can't buy back.
They are just playing with the four of them. There's no Lich on the other side. They're going in towards the pit. Ace starting to send the Tempest double through. The boat's coming out. They've got the rubber. 33! He's in! Gets the kill on Roche. Gets the Aegis. And now Cole, they have to scatter. They can't let Scam die. Scam, he's on top of Ace once again, though. He's found the Arc Quad and Ace. He bought back for this. So now Ace has gone for 90 seconds. They lose Snake King. Sax is still in the pit, but Scam, he's on top of it. 33 jumps back in, trying to finish on Scam, but Scam's still alive. They've got the turret, the control of the 33 is Scam. Double kill. This Spectre is not dying today. As PPD gets the Ignite out, Scam still poking around with them from outside. Lim's got the BKB, Torrent as well, controlling 33. Seafreak with a blast on PPD, keeps him back.
3-3 goes the high ground, but he goes north instead of to the right, so Limp.
He still may be able to chase this one down. He doesn't want to. The Shadow Blades back up. Limp will get out. So, I mean, 33 comes in. Great Aegis steal, great Roshan steal, but Scam stays alive. They get these big kills. Scam continues to be this absolute beast that complexity need, and they are relying on to keep themselves in this tournament, and Scam might just be able to do it this game.
Wow. And that means the Aegis then, so it was used as well, as you can see here. I mean, it looks good when you get in there like that, but the fact that they're able to bring down Ace again, absolutely brutal. Trying to play himself on the side of that fight, it looked like.
You see sort of the start of his hero.
Just runs at him.
He does. He's got no fear. Scam, he knows the limits of his hero, and he really is playing the Spectre to a T.
Getting that bash
doing
too.
Exactly what he needs to. 33 trying to come back in, but Scam just punching that little bit too hard. As he takes down one another.
It's crazy because if you just lose Scam, like the whole fight, you know, the game can just be over.
Absolutely. Scam dies there, the game's over. And you see Scam as well in that fight. He got ever so low. Like, he could have played it safe. He could have got out of there, but he knows that that ain't going to cut it in terms of actually trying to turn the game around. Sure, you play it safe, you make sure you don't die, but your chance of actually winning the game, it drifts even further away. So he gets back in. He knows that he can sort of rely on his hero at that point to have enough sustainability to survive, and he does it. He's keeping Cole in the game as he now takes that top net worth position as the Spectre above Fada, above Ace, which really is absolutely something to behold indeed this game. Scam, as I said, he has impressed us in a lot of Cole's games, where as a team they have struggled, they have suffered, but Scam, you know, this is what, is this sort of Scam's first LAN? Is it international now, right? Have we ever seen Scam on other rosters?
I don't think he was on Geek Fam, but I think they just went to maybe
like
a couple
SCA
LANs.
Yeah. So sort of have this turnout, and especially in a team that they are struggling, as I say, in a lot of senses. I think you still got to watch this kid and say, you know, Scam has certainly got a lot of potential, and in this game he is unleashing all of it as he does his best to keep the team in the competition.
I met him at breakfast today. Seems to be a pretty quiet lad. He was just chilling there with Snake King. He wasn't saying much.
Yeah.
Yep. He was just, you know, doing his thing. Looked like he was looking forward. We mentioned the Terrorblade game, and he smirked a little.
Oh, he got his rampage, yeah.
Yeah, with his Wraith bands and everything. So I think he's having a good time.
I mean, it's still a fantastic experience. And as we do, you know, iterate, this is the first time that Cole are playing on LAN with Scam in the lineup as the full roster. So it's
first time playing with him in general.
Yeah, it's not going to be buttery smooth, and you can't expect the world from them. It is going to take time. And I think definitely, say, if they can sort of build this team and just make it work around Scam as sort of the focus point, they can get something going here, as we are certainly starting to see a glimpse of it at this point in the tournament where compLexity need it the most to hold on.
Yeah, all of this dispersion damage too. Like, part of the reason why it's working so well, as the panel pointed out, you always have the reduction in damage still going. Like, you get the full damage dealt back out, as you can see by Scam leading in the damage dealt. A lot of that because of the Kunkka's Rum. So they are ready to fight once again. The buyback still 2.5 minutes away here for Scam, so has to be a little cautious into how he joins these. Because if he dies, then likely it's going to be just GG.
Let's have a look. 33. And you have the high grab, but Envy jumps in, immediate lockdown with the echo, but they can't kill 33 off in time. Still gets the primal split off the global silence as well. As PPD does get taken down. Scam in with the illusions, takes out the ogre from the fight.
Yeah, he's playing very cautiously, though. Only targeting down the ogre. He doesn't go from those bigger heroes.
Scam can look to go back in, and the primal split's wearing off. They know there's no global silence. Ace just sending the Tempest double through to sort of distract them. Limp will pop the BKB in an attempt to kill off Ace's Tempest double. 33 is being slowed down. They've got the trapper as they surround him. 33.
What? What did that actually just happen?
As he just juked him, they do have the ward on the high ground, so they do see him.
Surely he's dead.
They'll get him. He's got the blink back up.
But the Spectral Dagger.
Bash. Oh, does he get it first?
He got X'd.
But indeed, they've got the catch for the X. Ooh, Lily looked like he was going to get out of that 33, but he doesn't. And
did they notice the gem, though?
They did not.
If only he dropped the gem, that would have been the next level.
Oh, wait, they did.
Z-Freak.
Yeah, they did.
Of course, Z-Freak's
just kidding,
on it.
Z-Freak indeed. He's got it. Okay.
Oh, can you imagine if he had dropped that gem in the fountain, I would have actually lost my mind.
That would have actually been the play. That would have been the play.
But you can't expect too much.
No,
come on now, we got it.
He's only human at the end of the day.
Doesn't look like it sometimes, but
no. There we have, compLexity again. I think NiP, they're gonna be a little worried. They're losing fights that they really shouldn't. This Spectre is, Scam is continuing to have the time of their life. He's certainly be feeling the rush right now, as he is getting absolutely to sort of this point where he is just this incredible beast. He's still got a slot that he can build into as well. There's still a lot of potential for him to continue to grow, but already at the state that he is, he's proving to be pretty much impossible for NiP to properly deal with. I mean, how do NiP deal with this Spectre with the Rum on? Like, this is what the panel talked about. It's this stage of the game. Limp, he's not doing a lot of damage. It doesn't matter. As long as he gets that bow on the Spectre, compLexity will probably win the team fight. Like, how do you deal with the Spectre?
I mean, you can just not fight that part of it. Like, they don't have the best chase. A lot of pressure's on Envy, and I have to say, this is probably one of Envy's best games as Shaker. Let's be honest. Like, I feel like he's had some pretty rough ones.
I had a little bit rough opening.
Yeah,
a little bit sort of, but as you say, he's been kicking off the fights
going.
Yeah, he absolutely has the later portions.
So he needs to keep doing that and make sure that they're forced to fight when that run buff is indeed on the Spectre. And to Cole's credit, they have kept this net worth very level. Like, it's been a 12K lead for a while, whereas the experience is actually flipped at this point. They lead in experience because of all these late game teamfight wins.
Damn.
And experience is usually the better indicator, honestly, in terms of who's winning the game.
Mid lane, Envy. Let's jump in onto the Tempest double, making sure that Ace doesn't get away with a free kill onto Z-Free. They will get the credit. They kill it off.
Now we move to basically waiting for Roche. Silence of the players, silence of us. 20 seconds until the potential respawn here. GPM talents kicking in, you can see there for the old silencer as JJ does the rounds across numerous talents for you lovely folks at home. Making sure you know what's up. I still haven't memorized left, right, left. I can't tell when I'm watching a stream. I never know which talent is which. I always, or even if I think I know, I always have to Google it just to check.
Sometimes on the heroes, that you play where you sort of have a feel for when
then you really know.
But other than that, there's so many heroes, so many talents.
I wouldn't,
and
be so disgusting as to play Necrophos.
Especially at this stage of the patch as well, you're sort of like, well, there's probably going to be a new patch that's going to come and then change a whole lot of them, so what's the point in remembering them all? At least I hope so. Come on, give us that back.
Let's go.
I hope so.
Feel it.
Wait, today's Thursday, right? Thursday's
It
when
is
they
Thursday.
sometimes do updates. I'm holding out for a Thursday night update. Come on.
Anytime. Right
We'll
now
take
we'll be
it.
fine.
Right now, I don't mind. Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
If you're watching Valve, I'm giving you the go-ahead. Launch a patch now. Do it.
Oh, production does not want that. It sounds
No, do not encourage this activity. Oh my goodness. I just got the murder threats from production.
Oh, deny there on the DD room bot for Limp. Well done, Saxa. This is the worst kind of game when you're NiP. Like, this feels terrible.
It is, because you know
all
that
this
you
game.
goofed up. You've messed up this game.
You
Because
know,
it should have
one
been
of
a
your
clean
core
and easy.
players bought this stupid item.
I mean,
setting records.
I don't think the Skadi didn't mind. Maybe the sort of the Reaver and then oh, actually I need a BKB, that might have hurt them a little bit. Because they did lose a few fights around that portion where he didn't have a BKB fighter and he did just have this casual Reaver. So maybe that wasn't ideal.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, if you have BKB, you probably just, take buildings and you can focus on them again. Or at least you don't all die after taking racks and stuff. But it looks good at the time, for sure. I mean, they just won an incredible fight from Cole. They played it the best fight of the game at that point. Certainly needed it too, or else this game would have been over. And now you just feel all awkward and weird going about the map. You bought a gem too, and you lost that right away after Peter had bought it.
It's rough, This is a real test for NiP, and I think as we're saying to Cole, this is a very impressive performance from them in this sort of second half of the game. It looked a bit like, oh, hang on, this is the same sort of Cole that we're seeing, lose a lot of games in sort of that midpoint, early point of the game. But then sort of that magical turnaround, and now Cole, you can really feel it. It's as if something sort of just a spark has lighted in this team, and now it's suddenly like, hang on, lads, we need to win this game. It's no more sort of like, we're trying, we're here. It's like, we can do this. They know that they can do this, Cole. This game is absolutely a winnable and achievable for compLexity in this position. I mean, sure, there's a 13K going the way of NiP, but as you say, if you've been watching this game, it feels absolutely like Cole, they may be a racks down, but it is NiP that are a little bit on the edge now.
Yeah, they've moved into a battle of attrition instead. It's a very slow game. It went from a kind of, I mean, it was a pretty clowny game for the first 20 minutes. It felt like a show match almost, the way that some of these fights were kicking off.
It really was. And it did favor NiP. NiP, they were clowning around, but they were keeping themselves at an advantage. But you gotta be, you're playing against a Spectre. Doesn't matter if this hero's been nerfed. You mess up a few too many times, it's gonna be in a great place, and an even greater place. This is really Skem just pushing the hero to the limits, playing it, as I say, absolutely 110% this game. Like, sure, you can say, oh, it's a Spectre late game, or you're going to be really beefy. No, this is Skem playing really well.
Yep. Oh, certainly. And they just haven't found anything, and oh my goodness, I think he's paid for the Midas, guys.
Oh, damn.
That's a little more, that was a great investment right there.
It was, paid off. Still holding on to it. He's got 5.2k gold in his bank, wants to get the Silver Edge, of course, to give him a chance of killing Skem on that Spectre. No, sure, he's still going to have the run, but at least you can take away that kickback from the dispersion.
Yeah, that would be quite nice.
Yeah.
So much pressure on 3-3 this game. Like, it looked very good at the beginning, but now it's not quite as effective with the Pandas until you get up to the level 25. And he doesn't have a Midas. It would be a game where you'd be really enjoying that if you were all 3-3 here. Maybe he'll get himself the next tome. I think they gave him the last one too. Just trying to get himself there because his levels are just so crucial on this hero. He's currently eyeing up an Octarine, which is a little unusual for a Panda. I don't know, maybe he's real concerned about getting to that
I think,
level 25.
Yeah, it's, the 25 with the Octarine is what
it's
is
amazing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And he has the Radiance too, so it's fine.
PPD up top. We'll get found out. I'll lose the Ogre. And what did you say? What level have we got on the Brew at the moment?
22.
Okay, so a little bit of time, but yeah, once
but
you
with Tome, it'll be like 23 in a bit, and that's just one fight. So.
And then what's sort of the downtime on the ult? Then it's what, like 4-5 seconds or something? Is it? Does it work out to be with the mouse? It's something crazy.
It goes down. What is it? 65? Yeah. So it's like a 15-second downtime without it. So with the Octarine, it's gonna be looking really
10-second downtime. Yeah, it's crazy. And very hard to deal with if they can't kill him in that. Little window. Silver Age picked up for Fada, so they do have now the break opportunity on Lina. And Cole, they're into the pit. They're into that Roshan. And they look like they're going to get away with this. I don't think NiP's going to head over there. They're without PPD for 30 seconds. compLexity can do this pretty quick, pretty safe with how big Skem is.
I mean, look what they're playing right now in Fada. This does not look like they're worried about Roche.
No, they're not checking it out. This is going to be a free Roche, and this is the refresher shard as well. And not only a refresher shard, Snaking, he's already got refresher orb. So he's going to take the shard as well. So he's got triple scythe available for the team fight. If you scythe 3 heroes, you probably could. You got a good chance of closing the game. Imagine they've got
pretty good chance.
I imagine they've got buybacks though.
Everyone has buybacks.
Everyone's got buybacks at the moment. Yeah. Oh, beautiful row of greens.
That's nice. You don't ever see that.
You don't see that a lot at the later stage. 50 minutes in, everyone's got their buyback, nice and preserved. Okay, he doesn't want the triple scythe. He's going to give it over for good means as well. The threat of the double horn is also very, very scary in these fights. And mid lane, bit of push and bit of rat coming in from the Tempest double. And be quick pause. But this game, unpausing, the screen died. Okay. Let's hope his screen's going to be all good and all fixed as we're back in. I don't know. I mean, at the moment, would you say... I feel like you would say, wouldn't you, that this is compLexity with the better chance at closing this one off? Or would you still say that despite the fact they've got this incredibly big Spectre, there is this Arc Warden in the game, they've got this break coming online, that NiP could still close this in a team fight?
Yeah, it is a little tough, isn't it? I would think that compLexity have the better chance at winning the next big team fight.
Yeah, the team fight potential is definitely superior. If they can just play around the global and the primal, that's sort of the two big threats.
Like, it's
and
pretty
they've got
hard
so much more to throw back
to lose a fight with 3 haunts, or I guess at least 2 haunts potentially.
2 haunts and 2 scythes.
Yeah. That's ease of execution-wise, that's pretty good. Now, mind you, there's so many things in this game that you have to worry about as compLexity. Like, you have to be watching out for this clone split pushing. It's so dangerous, too, even just for some of the supports. This clone could just, like, absolutely wreck you.
Yep. As Limp. He will he show himself top? He does. PPG already TPing out, though.
Oh, yeah, and there's that tome. So
see, what's it pushing 33 towards now? What's he got?
Yeah, they're sending it 33.
Yeah.
PPD even buys it. What a guy.
Make sure that 33 has the money for not only that Octarine, but also buyback on top of it. And there's a full Hex picked up by Skem. A Hex was also picked up by Saxtra on the silencer on the side of NiP, so both teams with that extra lockdown.
This looks like almost unlosable fight.
But double horn, double Hex
double
from
Abyssal
Skem.
Blade.
Yeah, you can lock down 4 people.
And
you know, he's a little on the map. I guess, yeah, how does the mana work? Actually,
okay,
the maps doesn't check out, does it? Or 2 horns, that's 500.
No, you can do it.
2 scythes, that's 500. That's 1k. Maybe, yeah, but if you time it with the Aegis regeneration here, that would be the play.
Or, well, assumedly you're going to be doing it after the Aegis anyway, right? When you have your mana again. Because...
Oh, true, yeah, I guess you could just... You could
just
die. Yeah, you could just die. Yeah, you're right. Oh, V. Does find the Fisher. There's the Hex from Skem. And PPD, another death on the Ogre. More money and more kills going the way of compLexity.
He took the Bloodlust. I was going to say, he does not have 2,800 HP. He's missing about 700 compared to most of your Ogres at this point because he went for the Bloodlust AS.
Okay, I mean, I feel like this game that he's, with sort of the damage in the late game, he's 40, is that really going to save him?
It's like 700 damage. Yep, I mean, I actually like the Bloodlust talent.
Yeah, oh yeah, because especially with these sort of cores, you put this on this Arc Ward and an Ace is going to be punching like an absolute truck.
Yeah, you can even do it, speaking of great talents, by the way, the Ghost Ship Fleet.
I mean, the team fight really is disgusting from Carl. They have a fantastic synergy to play around with.
Jeez, you want to see a sad game? Look at Fada. That Reaver has moved to backpack status.
Oh, no.
That was not a good investment. The minus, a good investment. The Reaver, not so much.
I think he got a little giddy after he got the Scard. He was like, all right, let's go. And then talk about let's go in the mid lane. Look at them found. They found Saxa. Saxa's gone for 2 minutes.
A couple extra boats just for good measure. Make sure he's dead. Buyback available on a silencer, good player. Fada just having to do a little bit of guerrilla warfare here.
He's got a lot of money. He's going to turn that into a Satanic instead by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can certainly get on board with. Still makes him incredibly beefy. And that sort of pseudo second life as long as he can sort of stand his ground with the BKB and get that lifesteal off. Still, yeah, I mean, 33, has he not got enough money for the Octarine and buyback? Or is he still short of that gold? How much is Octarine?
He's got a 6K surplus, 5,900 surplus, so he's
it's close, right?
Yeah, he's got it just now.
He's got it now, so yeah, he'll certainly look to head over and make sure that he grabs that, I'm sure.
I wonder if he, like,
was he thinking
must
about
be thinking BKB, I would think.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe, but the only problem with BKB is that obviously there's an Abyssal, there's a Scythe, which will probably get off before you even get it, so I can see why he would be hesitant to purchase BKB in this game.
Yeah, he certainly seems to be thinking about that item purchase, on which way he wants to go.
Dude, if I'm Peter this game, I just want to follow Ace around and Bloodlust his clone before he TPs it. So like the 40 bonus Bloodlust, that thing comes in,
supports, yeah.
I feel like it would shred people.
Yeah. There we go, there we go. So he just settled on the road of the Octarine. Heads over, grabs it, and as we say, has made sure that he does still have the buyback money. He's got the gem out as well on him.
Peter buying another one for the team.
54 minutes in. This is setting out to be a long one. It feels like forever that it has been a 12k lead for NiP. It really has, hasn't it? It's got to be, I feel like for at least 30 minutes of this game, this net worth has not shifted.
Yeah, it has been completely stale for a very long time, as you can see there. Not moving a whole lot.
No, staying around for that 12-14 lead, which is good news for Cole, right?
Most certainly.
Yeah, they stopped that lead growing against them.
I think they have no GPM talents going for them either, right? Whereas on the Radiant side, they got quite a few.
Yeah.
Or at least they have Silencer going.
I mean, and they had sort of like the Arc Warden double minus. You know, these is you expect them to be further ahead, but to say the fact that Skem he's still above this Arc Warden, who's continuing to get more and more benefits from that minus, as you can see. Ace there, of course, continuing to keep it in the active slot. Does find Z-Freak. Oh, it's actually going to haunt. It's going to be Envy actually with the jump. They've managed to find their target immediately with the Echo Slam. They've got themselves on top of 33. They'll take him out. He has got buyback and he's going to use it straight away. But they move across on top to a second. Can they finish off the Silencer in time? There's the refreshed Reaper's side coming out as they'll get it down onto Saxa as well. 33's brought back. They've committed those two ults here on the side of compLexity. They do still have a buyback from Saxa at NiP. Tier 2's taken. They get that gem that we just saw being handed over to 33. So another gem lost from NiP.
Poor Peter, they had some rough investments on the side of NiP. And everything was good for the minus, and other than that, they've been losing a lot of gold on some of these items. And now Envy though, maybe a return kill.
They do have the control. Fada's in. They get a shaker in return.
Doesn't look like they got a gem back there. No, Z-Freak's holding both of them, so. Speaking of talents, by the way, Z-Freak, of course, the 25 is one of those ones where you start thinking about this game and you're like,
oh man.
Dude, that ice armor is disgusting. You're just giving a heart to someone. Or really,
buildings. Yeah, on the buildings. The fact that it heals the structures, it makes it so hard to win the game against.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sure, yeah, that would be sort of the next late game priority for Cole, making sure that they can get the 25 on Z-Freak.
Can you imagine this Spectre with boat rum buff and then the ice armor HP regen?
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Actually would not be able to kill Skem.
Yeah. He would,
I mean,
he
if
would
they
not
can.
die.
I don't think they can kill him now anyway,
I mean, yeah, sure.
honest.
Even without that frost armor buff at the 25 talent, he's very unkillable.
Some nice side lane pushing here by PPD. He's being sent to the old dead lane, as our boy BSJ would say.
Nice. What's he buying? Okay, he's going Daedalus. He had about 10k gold nearly saved up. Get that Daedalus online. Talking about 10k gold saved up, so does Skem. Skem's sitting on 10k gold, and you know, where does he really want to go with it? Anywhere that, at the moment he's buying wards for the team.
Bless, by the way. Yeah. Thank you so much, Skem.
We've got longest games at ESL Hamburg, so 1 hour and 12 minutes was that top one, and they look a live, updated leaderboard there. As we currently sit in the 3rd position. We could make it to the top. I mean, this is certainly a game. It's been going on like this for quite some time. It could still go for quite some time longer. That
Alliance match in EG, that was just even earlier today. So we got to at least beat them. I mean, we want at least the longest game of the day.
Oh, Fada shows himself up top and alone, and that's going to leave the opportunity for them to come in with the Horde. Or do they have detection? Please tell me they have detection. They do not have detection. They do not have detection. Fada's going to get out.
I thought they might be able to chain stun it, to be honest. It kind of looked like it was going to be close.
I think they thought, you know what it was? That Reaver, that casual Reaver.
Got him.
Kept him alive. I believe he has got the Satanic on the Courier. Is he?
I don't think he went for it. He didn't buy it.
He's actually queuing up a totally different item. He's done with the Reaver. Oh, he's not even going to use it. He's going to sell it soon.
It's for good luck, I think, this game. That's all it was.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. You know, Reaver's it's a lovely looking item. But yeah, he's queuing up the Bloodthorn instead. So Fada's probably going to get rid of that Reaver slot.
That's tough. That's a hard thing to have to do, to admit that this item was completely pointless for your hero. And he might still hold on to it, but...
I mean, do you think this was sort of a self-recognition, or do you think this was PPD saying, do not build that heart? And
I would say it's more self. You know, I don't think
okay.
Most other roles don't want to, you know, step on you that hard. I don't think.
Well, I don't know. Peter, he likes to lay down the law. You know, he's
true. Look at him, this big old ogre.
Not lowest net worth though. Keeping himself on overseas freak at the moment.
Oh, we smoking up down here, are we? Bloodlust in the smoke.
Do they want to do it? There's no horn. It's a good time to strike.
Do they have bots 2 on ace yet? I feel like they need bots 2 on ace. They do not. That would be really nice. If that like clone could just instantly jump into this engagement like a smoke like this. But obviously he's not fully maxed out on either item, so that would be wise. Holding out on that. Oh, there it is. Boom. Look, ace. Sorry, I think my comms are going through here. This genius plan.
Oh, if they could catch Scam. But Scam, oh, it's a bit of a bait. Look at this wraparound coming in from Cole. Along the river, across into the half of the map of NiP. Envy heads forward.
I mean, he already split too. I mean, I guess he can just come right back on.
They'll find Envy. They'll just go straight up onto Envy, but there's going to be the horde. They have managed to... Envy's still alive. They do get the bash down Scam. He's looking for Saxa. Envy's going to be able to walk this one off. As Cole, they did open up onto the Shaker. They will not kill him. They'll lose their silencer for that as Cole get away. Again, we're taking another kill. I mean, it feels like NiP, they don't know what to do.
I think they know that these fights should be easier for Cole to win. And when that starts out poorly, they just instantly leave it. Fada started heading towards the base, but they had sent back some illusions, actually. The Manta helped push it in a little as Ace will still find quite a bit of damage onto the tier 3, but as we all know, soon that will be negated. And by soon, I mean 4 levels.
Oh, is he
still level,
he's getting there.
He needs those tomes.
Level
this
21.
tome's going to be sick.
I mean, if he gets that 25, it is going to be beautiful for compLexity. And as we said, a reminder, of course, in this series, compLexity needed what? Both of the games?
Both wins.
To stay in. And NiP, they do only need one. But you don't want to leave it down to that last chance one game, you know what I mean? There's no sort of...
I mean, we want them to.
Well,
because that's way more hype. But they definitely do not.
But no, they absolutely don't. They want to make sure they can do it with a game to spare. Top lane PPD.
This is a Roche kill.
It's been caught out.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, as you say, Roche is there up. No, NiP's still holding cheese from last time. They can look to top that up, get a second one picked up.
The 6-second downtime on Brew split for 3-3 means he's just sitting in the base. Constantly splitting, keeping the Earth Panda, and sending these guys out. Now that is frustrating.
Okay, some big arms now. Snake King's got his heart, and Fada does have the Bloodthorn. So the Reaver indeed back and has resigned to a backpack slot. As, I mean, at this point, he may as well. So is he ever going to use the Reaver?
He just can't admit it. I mean it's better than selling it, honestly.
It?
Yeah, he might need a Satanic.
He might need buyback. Well, I guess he's got buyback gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's kind of just there.
They know Roche is up here for Cole, but still don't feel comfortable enough heading into the pit.
I mean, oh, okay, so what we've got, Skem buying the tome, and he's got to be giving it to Z3, right? That's the guy who needs the tomes.
I don't think, Envy, I guess.
What's the 25 on Envy?
You can get the magic resistance for 50%, or you can get the enchant totem cooldown, which is a lot better when you have eggs, obviously.
Yeah, I guess the magic resist is quite damn good this game.
With all the Mjolnir and everything, yeah, but I think he's probably going to want to go for the totem cooldown.
Because eventually he's going to want... If this game goes on at this pace, he's probably going to... I mean, yeah, he's queued up the... 2,700 gold towards it. Yeah, you're right. He's going to get it. This game is probably not going to end before he has the Aghanims. So yeah, we've got Z-Freak picking up a mech. So getting prepared to be this Lich that's going to offer all the regeneration. And they're into the pit now. And NiP, they don't want to go over. They don't want to risk this, so this is what the 4th Roshan going to compLexity this time round again. And Refresher Shard, who's going to get to hold it this time? And they're giving it to Envy for the double shaker plays, double shaker combo.
Okay. And that is indeed the refresher, or the tome given to Z-Freak too. So he
What
pops
does it bump it
that,
up to?
and he's almost at 23 after the Roche
he's
experience.
getting there.
Where we're going, guys.
25 is closing in.
This is my favorite kind of Dota. Not gonna lie, this is just the best.
I just hope we hit that longest time in the tournament. I mean,
I just want to beat those other casters, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know who it was.
I was gonna say, did you? I didn't cast that game. Did you cast that? You didn't cast that.
One of those B or C streams. I bet it was Gareth. Gareth. Good.
Or lyrical. I've always suspected lyrical to be the sneaky one. Heart is going to be the slot for Scam. A Heart and a Spectre. I mean, he's not going to die. Like, surely. What situation does this Spectre even come close to die? I don't know.
I mean, Arc Warden is pretty ridiculous. Arc Warden's a ton of damage. It's 2 heroes.
Okay.
So theoretically, if he just has free reign on the guy, it could happen. But, I mean, is it gonna? Probably not. The march continues. The net worth has finally made its way all the way down. And I'll tell you one thing. One guy's been very stubborn about this game. That's Dota Plus. It has just been like 75% to just 0 on the old line there.
Oh, well, yeah. What's it at the moment?
It's completely even, 50-50.
It's completely even. Yeah. I haven't seen that much at all, especially at a game 6.50% either way. Dota Plus says. Yeah. My goodness. Do we? I'm a little surprised that they don't believe in the Spectre, because normally Dota Plus really favors the Spectre.
It was like 75% or like 60 like the whole game. Yeah, you know.
But it's now starting to say, well, hang on, if NiP are able to sort of deal and keep this game going despite how big the Spectre is, maybe NiP do have that magical touch to finish this game somehow.
Well, Spectre still reigns supreme, the queen of the net worth here.
Gonna go on to PPD.
Peter just doing his thing.
Let's see how much they want to throw on this. They've got the ghost ship fleet coming down onto Peter. Scythe as well will finish him off for 135 seconds. Does have buyback potential available. You see into the base they go. If they can find anything more, that is another question.
And Fada's just cutting the wave up top though. And he's smoked too, so he didn't reveal himself when he killed that.
Okay.
Just a very long journey to try and slow down the push.
Snaking, trying to farm his Hex next. Double Hex, double Scythe. They have so much control. So the double Hex, double Scythe on Snaking. They've got the Abyssal Blade, the Hex on Scem. A lot of catch for Cole. Ace will have the Tempest double coming in. Fada's there. Nice strike's going to miss that.
Yeah, there was a pretty good chance to get that,
I think they may have done so. You started
like
to see the potential of the damage, yeah.
Oh, he's coming back in, though.
Oh?
He's just going to skip. Okay. He's going to the next wave.
Okay, keep
Fada's playing great this game. That's what you have to do.
Well, buy a Reaver and put it in your backpack. I like it. I like the way Fada's played.
Oh, and he misses the Dragon Slave, but it's okay. You know, that's why it's on such a low cooldown.
Yeah, you
just
can
keep on going.
There we go.
Whoops. Well, he's having good fun. So, he went the magic resist.
Take the resist. He plays it safe. I mean, it is so much. Because what's his magic resist in total now?
It is up to 66%.
66% magic resistance. It's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, but that totem combo is so sick. And they don't have any roots either.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing to hold him back from
so a lot of
jumping around like a madman.
Then again, you can't jump around if you're dead. So.
And I tell you what, whilst this has still been going on, Limp is getting back in and getting the big items. What we got?
I'm out of the top 50.
The cost of 2. I averaged it. Damn! Look at that. I mean, to be fair, that's got to be bumped up by some of the. Well, I guess that's the whole point of that stat. But it's pretty close. What was that average time?
How 39 minutes? I'm only 2 minutes behind. I'm out of the top 50. That's a tight top.
Oh, did you say you weren't even in the top? Yeah, that must be a really tight top.
I'm just out of the top 50. You put it nicely.
Okay. Yeah, that's close. I mean, I guess that just shows sort of over the years.
It's almost like you have cast the best teams, and I've cast a bunch of online stomps or something. That's weird.
That is true. I guess I have a few years on you in terms of these games, but you'll catch up to me, Trent. This game's going to help you. I mean, this game's helping both of us. Though.
How am I supposed to get
You got to get rid of me. I mean, to be fair, though, I'm not in the lobby, so you're probably going to get credited this with the stat.
Yes.
I'm not actually connected to the lobby because I watch from, of course, JJ's Beautiful Observing. So, yeah, this is going to bump you up.
That's what you get for being too lazy to log in.
But then again, maybe that's what's been stopping me from being brought down because I don't join the lobbies a lot. So for the, I guess you can't really tell if they're going to be short or longer.
Now how I see it's going.
Wow.
It's a good thing we found something to talk about because we're doing the same thing, it looks like, for the past 20 minutes or so.
I mean, so are these two teams.
Yeah.
They're just getting item after item, keeping it going. They're level honestly, I'm telling you, level 25 on Cole. That's what you want to wait for on Z-Freak.
Well, I mean, what's the point of waiting for that?
Well, when you're not already dying anyway.
It's finding an answer to the split push. It seems like they're slowly starting to close it in, and they're even fanning out. It almost looks like a bit more on the side of compLexity and herding in the side of NiP.
What we got here? Scam continuing to be as rich as ever. I want to see 25s in everyone. We don't see that a lot.
This guy's got
Who's
a heart
letting
in
it?
his
Saxa's only
backpack.
20. Someone get Saxa a tome. Get that man a library subscription. Sign him up. Get him some good literature.
Oh, yeah, he needs some Reading Rainbow.
He does. Wait, what was Reading Rainbow? Was that the thing with the scary bear in?
Scary bear.
Did it have
no,
a bear in?
You mean Care Bears?
No.
Reading Rainbow was like a show with like you read, it was like reading. It was LeVar Burton, guy who played Lieutenant LaForge on Star Trek, of course. Guy with the little eye thing.
I never watched Star Trek.
Yeah, you're a fool.
I'm not cool.
Hit up your Netflix. Don't worry, it's there.
I
Make
guess
it so, and you'll be good to go.
Reading Rainbow. Is Reading Rainbow on Netflix?
I don't think so, but
it might
if
be.
it
They
was,
do have quite an extensive
kids
kids section with all the cartoons.
I
So
hope
maybe
so.
maybe
It was
it's
very
Reading
pleasant.
Rainbow.
It was like Mr. Rogers for books,
Okay.
you know, that kind of deal.
But it was sort of more advanced. Or
Well, not really.
Not
You know?
really.
That was pretty minimal. Snaking, just running away from some ghosts here.
am I 70 minutes in? I mean, I'm sure this is all just happening because Envy's in the game. You know, historically, Envy and long games, they go
Yeah,
together.
talking about casters with the longest games. I mean, I feel like Envy's got to be one of the players who he
Can we
definitely.
get that stat? Which player has the longest average professional game time?
Over,
A player.
I would guarantee.
You think it's got to be Envy?
Over like 50 or over 100 games or whatever. It's got to be Envy.
Do you think it actually is? Because there's
definitely
so
is.
many
I
players.
guarantee it's
the
Envy.
longest average game time from a player.
There's zero doubt in my mind.
They're popping a horn, they're popping a global, making sure that no Spectres are going to be jumping over to the Ghost. And, oh, actually, hang on, we do see here the Hex, the Light Strike Array, they found Skem. Skem came in and they've got him. Envy's going to come in with the Echo, but the BKBs are already out, and the damage from Ace is punching into Envy. He'll use himself out. There's a buyback, and the Spectre tries to come in. They've got the Reaper Sight down on the Silencers. Cole, they found 2. They'll get PPD as well. They found 3. And Pistol Blades down onto a 4 for Skem, who's come back into the fight. Finds 33. 4 dead on NiP. compLexity.
And only the buyback from Skem. Perfectly used there with a Refresher Shard from Envy to make sure they could chain stun down.
And to make sure that he survives. Envy actually not dying as well, keeping himself alive with that secondary Yule's usage.
Jeez, almost
was
no
that
goal
his
change, though.
Does he still have a Yule's, or was that was no, it was his own Yule's. I wondered if it was actually Fado who sent it up, but no, I think it was his own Yule's, keeping him alive. That would have been a bit of a mess up. That was Fado's. Let's see if as a 5-man though, can they force any of these buybacks out? That is the question.
It really is, because you can see with this Arc Warden, it's just so obnoxious. And 3-3, at least he did have to buy back, so they got that.
He did have to buy back. That's one of them at least. And of course, you know, this is now a 7k lead for compLexity. As I say, Moonshard now on Limp. He's continued to really stack and rack those items up. Skem, he still has the potential to get himself a Moonshard, but as we also mentioned, this 6.5 minutes has to be a little careful playing without his own buyback, and that is quite a crucial. So at this stage, it's sort of like a free team fight when it feels. If he's got the horn and
it feels
a buyback,
pretty damn hard to lose.
Like you can't lose that team fight with buyback horn at this stage of the game with the items that Skem has. It makes it pretty much impossible for NiP to play into. So in that sense, NiP, they have to do something, I feel, in this 6 minutes.
What's frustrating, though, is that the Roche spawn was so late that everyone's back up on NiP, and it was only the buyback from the Brew forced out. However, Peter did lose his via purchasing a BKB.
Okay.
Wants to be able to cast as many stuns as he can, be an annoying nuisance and keep glimmering people.
I mean, they have been going from pretty much straight up each fight, because he is a pretty easy target to take. I mean, I feel, you know, we're seeing a game with a Kunkurin at 73 minutes. I'm sort of wondering where Limp's going to wander into Rapier territory.
Some damage items.
Like, sure, you know? They're not losing the game at the moment, Cole, but if they want to win, they've got to go for some risky builds like that, I feel. You know, if you get a Rapier online, get a good crit.
I don't think they need risky. I think
the
risk burden is on NiP.
So you think if you're Cole and you've got, as I say, you just say, all right, we're going to win at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. You wait.
Wait, did we? Are we what was the longest time? It was 1 hour and
1:16.
It was 1 hour and 16 minutes. I think you're right. Yeah. So, a few minutes to go before we break that record here in terms of the longest game of this tournament so far. And Fada still holding on to the Reaver. He's got 8.6k gold. I mean, he could get himself a boost shot.
That is depressing. But the Roche just quietly hanging out here once again. No contest for a second time. And the Aghanim Scepter purchased up here by Envy.
Here we go. Oh, it's the only 15th.
Kezu, Maposhka, and Yapsor.
How close is this though? 40 minutes? I guess still about a minute. So yeah, Kezu indeed with the average longest. Poshka and Yapsor.
That kind of makes sense for Kezu with all those double bubble games and strats and playing on Team Secret as well.
This is what I believe at least the 5th Roche in this game. As Aegis to be held by Skem. Who are they giving the Refresher Shard Envy again, I imagine? No, Refresher Shard is going to be held at the moment by Snake King. We'll see if he passes it off to anyone.
Yeah, Mikey handed over.
It's got, his Refresher Orb, Refresher Shard. I mean, it really is, it's an issue of slots now at this stage for most of the heroes in the game. E-Blade is going to be what Z-Freak hopes. And I don't know if we said this, but he has got that 25 Z-Freak.
Ah, the time has begun.
I think so. That was Z-Freak.
It should be.
Yeah, he's gone.
Skem should be the one with the Refresher Shard, right? Like, make him on a second haunt.
Why the slots, though? I mean, I guess, yeah, you're right. You want to hold it in case you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you die. So,
oh, look at this tier 4 just being healed up in the base. Absolutely disgusting. What a hero.
Oh
I mean, to be fair, you deserve it if you make it a 25 on a Lich, honestly.
I really feel like if NiP were unable to win the game by now, are they going to be able to win this game at all? Like this, like surely Cole, they're going to win this, right?
Well, I mean, the lanes though, they can't push in. They didn't even get a tier 3 still because there's Arc Warden and these Brewlings. They have these heroes that are just pointless to kill. So what can you do? You can't scythe a clone. What if that works?
What does Dota Plus say? Check your Dota. Or is it still on 50-50?
No, it has now moved to a 50. No, it's back to 50.
It just went back to 50-50. It's gone back to 50-50.
Oh, they're stumped.
Oh,
stumped at Valve. They don't even know.
I mean,
SAP's got the answer, but they won't tell us.
Like, as I said, I feel Cole after...
But if they're getting a kill?
He's pretty beefy. He's got the BKB out in time. They've got the horn. Straight away, Skem looking to get on top. He's dropped the Abyssal Blade down. Does get a Hex. There's no turn. Light Strike Array doesn't catch on to Skem. He has the BKB as well as he moves towards A. Skem does have the run buff, so he's going to take pretty much no damage at all from this Tempest Double. They have the X-Mark control onto Ace, dragging him back. Torn up as well. They do see it. They've got him anyway. With the AoE, they'll burn him down.
Good old Deathballs.
But again, what can you do with this? Sure, you killed Ace for 90 seconds, but now you don't have Horn. He does have buyback on Ace. Can you even force out that buyback? I mean, there's still 4 members of NiP alive, and at this stage of the game, defending 4 versus 5 it's not impossible.
Ace is very important though, because he is the push. So now it's on 3-3 to get that one lane. Luckily, the mid lane was already very far out, but they could theoretically just choose to go right down mid. I would say right now. Let's see if Cole have any plans about that, or if they will indeed continue the grind.
Well, I do believe we are going past that point if we haven't already. I can't remember the seconds, but it was definitely 1 hour 16 minutes. I'm pretty sure. So the longest game at this LAN so far. And we've had a fair few games with Dota 2 played here, and this is really quite something now. Reaching on to 77 minutes.
Oh wait, was it an hour and 16? Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, it was an hour and 16. It wasn't okay. Yeah, we're good.
20k lead now for compLexity, and in terms of late game lineup, they've got a Spectre. They've got this Spectre. Skem's been playing absolutely fantastic. A lot of that mid-game turnaround on sort of his resilience and the way that he played and performed. He's 16, 5, and 15. So this new sort of addition to the scene and to Cole's roster, bringing him over and joining the gang, it seems to be what's holding them in this game.
Every once in a while, I just see that Reaver.
He still got it.
Still just there.
I mean, maybe, you know,
no, I wouldn't sell it either. He doesn't need it. It's just, you know, it's like this mark of shame that's just in his backpack.
Maybe, you know, he'd seen, you know, he'd been reading about Pocket Ricky, got a bit confused and went for a Pocket Reaver.
That must be it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a scythe.
But I mean, down the line, to be fair, he could just get a Satanic right and just pop it, swap it out. It's not terrible to sort of swap in and out of your inventory, get a usage out of it. Even if you just sort of starting the fight with full HP and popping it, so you sort of cater for if you're taking a damage.
I'm just gonna.
Is that not a thing?
No, that's not
Why?
a thing.
But because you're not going to be able to swap it in and pop it later.
Well,
then what do you take out? I guess you could take
you would
yours
have to
out.
augment your whole build if you're using a Satanic, is what I'm saying. Like, this is when you're hitting like 17, 18K or something. You're like, oh, I could perfect this. Skem. This is what he has deemed to be the optimal build because he is like 10.2K and he's just not buying anything.
And he's got the Moonshot. Well, could he buy Moonshot for his teammates?
Kanka's got one already.
Got one.
I mean, Lich didn't take the 120 damage talent.
No.
So not acceptable. All right, look at All right, that was getting a little dicey there.
Skem, you got to back out, boy.
There goes the Aegis.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So Aegis
that was a lot of damage.
So that was what, just the Tempest double on his own, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
Daedalus Butterfly, yawn it. And of course that Silver Edge, taking away that dispersion, allowing a lot of damage to be done by that Tempest double. And he's got 2 of those.
He still has an 8-second BKB on that Spectre. That's how little fights we've been having.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've seen games that are 34 to 40 at like the 30-minute mark sometimes. So quite frequently, in fact. This is a game that's coming up to 80 minutes in. As, again, as you can see, everyone's got a buyback. They find Snake in. There's the jump, but there's the Hawk coming in. The silence comes through. The BKBs are out in response. Saxa, he's getting focused. Skem's found one. Turns towards Ace. Ace, his Tempest double will die. Ace is real hero, still alive and available, but he's retreating, and so is 33, backing off with the Primal Split. Can they kill him for it? The Chain Frost is going to bounce around between him. There's 33 back into the real form. He's got the BKB and blinks out. So Cole get 2. They do lose Snaking. Snaking, as we saw there, buying back immediately, getting himself back into the fight. Limp coming in, looking for the crits to find a heavy amount of damage onto the backliners of NiP. It's Cole. They've got a secondary horn. Look at this Skem, making the big ball of plays. Straight into the base. Gets himself on top of Ace. Buyback from Saxa, buyback from Fada, buyback from Ace.
They need this chase down. Gotta get some kills here. Make it worth.
If they can get everyone out alive, it's going to be huge, but it needs Snaking at the front of it all. Sent up into the air. Snaking, Ghost Shroud forces out. He gets 5 of it. In with the Echo Slam. Does gets caught out by the Light Striker. Fada keeps the distance, and he's still alive, crawling away, but a second X Skem chasing down the target as he gets Ace. Ace down for 2 minutes. No buyback. Another side down on the Saxa. Saxa's gone for 155. No buyback. PPD dies. They'll buy back. But Cole, I think they may have just done it there, unless something crazy can happen between Fada and 33.
Oh, Envy might be in trouble here with that split.
They're trying for him. Haunts up again, Skem, he's back in, he's on top, and he's got the pop. He takes a 3rd, PPD forced back to the base. There's only the Ogre and the Brew left in this game. Peter's taken out, and compLexity have done it. 81 minutes in, they have taken the game one of the 2 games they need to hold on to their dreams here at ESL Hamburg. And what a game to do it, and what a game to really just see the team come together, to have this sort of a victory when it mattered so much.
Even the admin's laughing, he's just like, oh my God, you guys.
I mean, and that whole game as well, sort of from the start, as I say, it looked like the complexity was seen. They were making questionable plays. They were doing stuff. We didn't know what on earth was going on, and then it sort of just clicked into gear. Everything started to work. NiP, it almost felt like PPD got to this point where it was like, cannot compute. He didn't know what to do. They couldn't do anything, it felt like, because of how well complexity sort of just strangled them, held them in this position, and made the game impossible for NiP to close up.
And the patience from compLexity too, I think, needs to be reiterated. Like, they just waited and waited and waited until they finally found that perfect moment, and then that jump onto Ace at the end of the game to close it out.
Envy.
And you gotta wonder about that snowball that was coming from NiP. Should they have ended that game?
I think that's a lot of questions that we're going to have to see from the panel, but at the end of the day, you say complexity being able to do that. 81 minutes, Envy as well. Sort of We saw both sides of Envy. We saw him solo slamming a silencer, losing team fights at sort of the 20-minute marks, to coming in at the end with that game-winning play, jumping in.
It's got to be 14th now in longest games. I mean, he's making his way up.
Yeah, I mean, Envy had some brilliant plays, but really for Skem that whole game, really showing us sort of the class act talent that this new blood can be, coming into these top-tier teams and giving us that sort of performance on a Spectres. They do it. They take game one. They only need one more to stay in, but now so do NiP. Everything to play for in that second game. But for the game one analysis, we'll send you right back to the panel.
Thanks very much, ODPixel. Inconsistency, courage, patience, so many adjectives we could use to describe this particular match. It is the longest match we've had at ESL One Hamburg 2018. Over 18 minutes, compLexity coming out on top. Gents, I don't even know where to start on that one. Kyle, what do you want to pick out of that?
There's a lot.
It's a lot. Do you want to talk about eternal inconsistency, or
let's save that for later, perhaps?
Okay.
But the thing that I like is that this is a good example of like what Dota's kind of become, where we all know compLexity is the better draft. They have the win condition, and it feels like this always happens, where the game gets relatively even around 30-40 minutes, and then it just won't end.
Right, stalemate.
Yeah, because one team doesn't need to do anything. Feels like as long as they don't throw, they're gonna take the game.
Right. But then the other team know that and don't want to risk anything, so they don't want to go in either. And then there's that standoff, isn't there?
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a clip later, but man, that 5-man, like Z-Freak, like lagged, smoke broke. They unpaused the game, and they decide to just take a 5-man and like.
I want to make compLexity for that
point.
Oh my god, I have never had, like, that is one of the few rare moments where I've just had utter pure joy when watching Dota, was compLexity try and kill Fada. Because everyone has experienced that at some point, where you're like, well, we've thrown